Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to Sports Talk, our draft coverage for the 2025 NFL Draft. And this is definitely a great time for these young men that will be drafted today in the pro football game. Tonight we have, as usual, Dwayne and myself. We looking forward. Dwayne has his beautiful U hat on. We're looking forward to tonight's conversation. We know we're gonna be here a long time. We might have some brothers popping in here and there. That's their choice. But Dwayne and myself, I think we've been doing this for 5 years, five
Yeah,
straight drafts, I think. And we're looking forward to covering the draft, um, having these reactions that we usually have are hilarious. So we're really looking forward to that because the reactions are real. This draft, from my opinion, and from what everybody else has said, this draft is what you call to get some needs. To don't chase the draft, but to get some needs. It's not a quarterback filled draft. I think this might be one of the drafts that had the less quarterbacks picked in the first round in a long time, allegedly. But it may be some reaches. So we're gonna cover the draft. We're gonna give our analysis, what we think about each player in the first round. And also we have Dan Bugler's the Beast with us, and we're gonna go back and see what Dan Bugler said about each individual player that he has named that gets drafted in this first round. What's up, Wayne?
yeah, not much, man. You know, Dane Bugler. I just think he's the best when it comes to this stuff, and looking forward to the draft. And I got corrected tonight while I was pre-drafting with my man Keith McPherson on WFAN. He told me don't call him Tet. He don't like being called Tet. He's let that be known.
You
He
want
likes
his whole
being
name
called,
called?
nah, he likes being called T Mac. So that's what we'll do. Um,
Yeah.
but it's the draft, man, and I'm looking forward to it. To me, I'm just going to be honest. There's no generational talent in this draft. I don't believe. I know everybody says Travis Hunter, but I just don't know where he's playing, and I don't believe he could play both ways like he did in college. I just don't believe that. The NFL is a lot different. It's a grown man league, so we'll see. There's some people that are saying that the number 2 pick, the shop is open. Cleveland's taking a lot of calls. There's rumors that the Bears are trying to get up to get Genty. There's definitely rumors that Jacksonville is trying to get up as high as 2, because I guess they identified Travis Henry. But
Hmm.
I would say there are the top 5. You may not know who's picking, which teams are picking them, but I think the top 5 is set in stone as far as the players you'll see leave the board. And after that, man, it's anybody's guess. But you're looking at Cam Ward definitely going number 1. You got Travis going number 2 to whoever it is there. And then the other names you're hearing, the other 3, you have Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State, part of the 11 fraternity. You also have Will Campbell, who will more than likely be the first offensive tackle taken off the board. But I would say watch out for that big fella from Texas. I think he could sneak in there over Will Campbell. So
Hmm.
we'll see. And then, of course, the number 1 running back, Aston Genty. But after that, I think it's a crapshoot, man. You look at Green Bay right now, and it's a place I want to go. It's a bucket list. And I've been to Canton. I've been to Canton, Ohio, twice. And the thing that always struck me about Canton, Ohio, is how everything surrounding the stadium is right in the community. So when you're looking at these wide shots of Green Bay and these drone shots, it's amazing that houses are like right there.
Yeah.
Houses are
Yeah.
like right across the street. This is truly right in the community. It's a great looking crowd. I admit when I miss on something, and I thought the NFL was crazy many years ago when they moved the draft out of New York City. But since it's been floating and rotating, man, it's amazing. Like I still think Philly was the greatest as far as it being at a location in another city. I thought Philly did their thing. I thought it was great. But Green Bay looks really nice right now, man. So just looking forward to it, looking for the reactions, looking to see, man. If there's no trades early, I don't think there'll be a lot of trades in this draft. And for the type of players that's going to be going in this first round, I don't think it's a value in trading up. I don't. I think the player, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think the player you get at 10, you can get at 40 this year. I really, truly believe that. I just think the talent is that close this year.
And why? And really, like, why chase your board? You set your board, as they say. You rate your players, and you allow it to come to you. We noticed that a lot of times people try to separate the draft from free agency, but most smart teams, it's your off season, and you want your draft and your free agency to connect. You don't want to chase in either way. You don't want to overpay for certain free agents, and you don't want to overdraft. I think that it's going to be interesting the first couple of picks. I think that it might be some action top 7, but if it's not, I think a lot of teams will just draft best player available. I don't think it's going to be any reaches. I think the only reach might be with that quarterback, Mr. Dart. I think that because quarterback is a premium so much, I think people want to go too far. I don't think he's a first round pick. I'm so shocked that people are buzzing talking about him and less about Shador, which is something that
a lot of that to me, to be honest with you, is smokescreen. I think still when this draft is said and done, Shador will be the second quarterback taken off the board. To me, and I'm going to say it like I said it a couple of years ago, if I'm making a comparison on Jackson Dart, it's Will Levis, and you see what's going on with him. Yeah. Tennessee's drafting another quarterback at the top of this draft.
He's more known about eating mayonnaise than he is about playing quarterback.
The thing with, and I'm just going to keep it real, man, like everybody has their own opinions, and my opinion of Jackson Dart is, yeah, he transferred to Ole Miss. Yeah, he was with Lane Kiffin. But look at the big games he played when he had to carry Ole Miss to victories over really good teams. He showed up really small. And I think that means something. Now he's going to get drafted. I don't know that he'll get drafted in the first round. Shador may fall, but hey, man, I think that'll be the best thing that happened for him. And if at the end of the night, Shador is wearing black and yellow, I think that's a great thing from Tomlin. But I really believe Shador Sanders is getting penalized because his father is Deion Sanders.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe that. And
absolutely.
To me, it's sad. I'm going to say it, and I'm not saying he's this player. So don't be in our chats. Don't think I'm trying to go viral. But they had no problem when the Mannings controlled the draft and said that they didn't want Eli in San Diego. They wanted him in New York. Look at Big Roger riding in on a bike like he Debo. Love it, man. The NFL is king, man. They do it right. He riding in on an NFL bike, man. Red, white, and blue. But yeah, the Mannings were able to get Eli where they wanted him. But everybody got a problem with Prime. And that's been, they got Lil Wayne riding in on the bike. The NFL, they know how to do it, man. But NFL, you missed on something tonight. And I don't know if it was on TV or not, but I heard it on the radio. You are in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You can't have Eminem come out like you in Detroit. What type of reaction did you think you was gonna get from the crowd? We got James Jones up there. Okay. A lot of former Packers, and we know the Packers was like one of the first teams to ride bikes in training camp. So that's a good homage to them. Um, I'm excited about the draft, but I want to be honest with people. There's no can't miss player in this draft, man. I'm sorry. They're going to say Travis Hunter is a can't miss, but I ask you, a can't miss where? Is he a can't miss at wide receiver or is he a can't miss at corner? Because if Charles Woodson couldn't play snaps on both sides of the ball, you're talking about a Hall of Famer. And he couldn't play both snaps of the ball in the NFL, and he did it in college. And also won a Heisman Trophy. I just want to see, and I'm not hating on Travis Hunter, I'm not. But I'm just saying, you got a person like Charles Woodson that didn't do it, and that's a Hall of Famer.
And he's much bigger than Travis Hunter.
He's much bigger, more solid. But it's good, man. You know, everybody know I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I considered being Cowboy out, but to be honest, I can't do that because we're doing a draft show for the whole NFL. So I'm a represent them Union Farmers. And a shout out to the new head football coach of the Union Farmers, Barris Grant. We farming different, man. And put it right out there. My dream situation tonight is to hear 4 names, all from the college football team I love, the University of Michigan. And I'll let you all figure out what those names are. And I'm doing a lot of talking right now, so I'm going to be quiet for a moment and let Q hit you with what he's anticipating.
My guy is probably going to be the first round pick, first pick of the draft. My guy from University of Miami. One thing I'll say about Cam Ward is that he extends plays a lot. If he gets drafted first, it's basically the projected pick. He's a very interesting quarterback because his strength is extending plays. He does a lot of good things off script, as they would say. I'm looking forward to seeing him get drafted. Excited for him. He basically single-handedly, I know a lot of people will talk about Miami's program and the history of the program, but this even with the coach, this one player brought back this program. I mean, he totally brought the program back. He was the missing piece to the program being on the map. If you watch their games, their defense was atrocious. Even in games where he pulled it out, it was like the defense was trying to give the game away. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to one thing that I noticed about these drafts, Dwayne, and when we do the shows is a couple years ago, me and you we saw how Miami Dolphins was moving, and they had a whole bunch of assets, had 2-1s, and was able to parlay that to some players. Then I think last year we saw how the Cardinals basically had a lot of picks because was trading down, they was making moves, trying to fill their roster out. I don't particularly think this draft is that type of draft because I don't think it's that deep. But I do think this draft is a draft we're getting the right fit with your current roster. I hope that a lot of teams don't think, okay, I'm gonna get a guy, he's gonna be a generational talent, he's gonna come to my team and turn my whole team around. These ain't them type of players. Cam Ward, if he does get picked first, he will be a good piece to a young roster in Tennessee. We know Tennessee won away from Rand Carthon after a year, which I thought was crazy because he was a program builder. And I guess with the Will Levis thing, they was like, oh, we can't deal with this. And that just goes to show that, you draft the wrong quarterback and some of these owners or presidents or GMs, they'll get rid of the coach, they'll get rid of everybody. So I find it interesting what's going to take place. I know us being from New Jersey, those two New York teams, man. I don't think people realize how bad both of those teams have been the last 10 years. And it's not to throw shots. They just been really bad. And usually, historically, it's always been one team is good, the other team is up, other team's down. So they always took turns. But right now, man, basically after Halloween, the New York football scene is done. You might as well just turn into high school sports if that's the area you live in or that's the area you follow. So I don't know what the Jets is going to do. I know I'm a big Aaron Glenn fan, so I'm interested to see what he's going to do, the direction he's going to go. The heat's on Joe Shane. I don't know him and Dable and the ownership group there. I don't think they could have fumbled the last 6-7 years any worse. They drafting linemen. They never could draft a good lineman. Making these weird moves in free agency. Now, some of the reports is that they're trying to get rid of Thibodeau. Like if you saw Thibodeau, you knew that it could be an issue with he never really was a splash player. I mean, but you drafted him high, and now the word is that you're going to trade him, and you might get another pass rusher this draft. Like, where are we going with this? You can't keep allocating draft resources and money to a certain spot. When you have to level it out, and they don't have a quarterback. They went with Russell and Jameson Winston.
I think they have quarterbacks. I think they have quarterbacks. That's two pro quarterbacks.
Who, DeVito?
Are these guys that you think are going to be there a long time? No. But I think they got a stopgap quarterback to where they don't have to. I would say this about the Giants. If you don't feel real sure on the quarterbacks that are in this draft, then you don't reach. You wait till next year. Because you got two quarterbacks that can hold you over, Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So if I'm the Giants, I don't reach. If I don't believe in Shedeur Sanders, I don't reach. If I'm the Giants, I definitely don't reach on Jackson Dart. If I'm being full disclosure and being honest, I hope the New York Giants select Jackson Dart. Please do. Please. Because you'll be picking another quarterback in 2 years.
So you think they're gonna pick him?
I hope though. The hot rumor is they're taking Abdul Carter at 3, and then they're trading back into late in the first round to get Jackson Dart. And I hope they do it. I hope they give up that type of draft capital. And I hope they draft a quarterback who I'm gonna say will be this year's Zach Wilson and Will Levis.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see what everybody's seeing Jackson Dart like you. I just, one of the things that me and you we discussed, and I know we had, and shout out to all the guys that, follow the draft, do draft shows, because for the most part, you do put your work in. But I know one of the issues that definitely this year, I think it came to a head was a lot of the guys not really watching the college game. And then getting into the draft based off of clips and so forth and so on. And
excuse me,
trying to dictate a player or, give a grade on a player based off of clips. Anybody could do, 5 10-minute clip ups to make a player look good or worse than what he really is. But I know you're a person that watches college football religiously. This is what you do. And it's a lot of guys that you'll talk about during the season that some of these guys won't even mention until they get a particular person to talk about them, and I'll say it, Dan Bugler, who's excellent at what he does. Todd McShay's still there. Mel's still there. And a lot of times people will, be doing it for a long time and even try to discredit what they do, but they go to the games. They talk to the coaches. They know the inside information. Even today, like it's two things that has happened in the last 5 years with the drafts that I'll say something crazy to you about a player slipping. And the reason why most players slip is because health and or character issues that nobody knows about. They'll come out again about certain players like I think the Spencer kid. But other than that, if health issues got you might have a team based off of a health concern that'll totally take a player off their board. Same thing with a character issue. And then you got some players that'll be like,
All right,
look, man,
here's the first pick coming. Cameron Ward. Makes sense. Makes sense. Just a little breaking news. According to Adam Scheffler, the Cleveland Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick, a 4th rounder, and a 6th rounder to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
wow.
The Jaguars are trading 5 overall, a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, and a 1st round pick next year.
Wow. Wow.
That's a blockbuster.
That's a block.
Let me just say this. I did that breaking news. We'll have time to talk about that. But let's give the first overall pick his due. Cam Ward started at Washington State, was very dynamic there. And then in this era, we know people don't stay at one university in this era. So he went to Miami and was very good in his season in Miami. Again, I want y'all to remember this name, Dane. Again, that's Dane Bugler. He does what's called the Beast for the Athletic, and he is the one. I have an athletic subscription. I'm being full disclosure here. I was picked to do a survey from the Athletic on the Beast, and I went out of my way to say how much Dane Bugler is the man. So we will be using some of his information from the Beast. And he had Cam Ward as number 1 for a long, long time. He had him as number 1. And so this is who you get. You get Cam Ward. And now Ian Rappaport has listed the trade. Cleveland Browns definitely made the trade with the Jaguars. So Duval, like Liam Cohen said, Duval. Yeah, you would think they're coming up for Travis Hunter. I can't see them coming up for anybody else. Yeah, they gave up a lot to come up for Travis Hunter, man. They gave up a lot.
Here's the trade, you guys, on the screen. According to Jordan Schultz, Browns, like Dwayne said, Browns received the 5th overall, 36th overall pick, 2nd round, 126, 4th round, and 2026 first round. Jaguars 2nd overall pick, 104, 4th round, 200 overall pick, 7th round. Really good trade. I think that's I think Jacksonville, man. You got a new young coach. Interesting move to come up, like you said, Dwayne, and possibly get Travis. I think that's a tough one. I mean, unless they're going to decide to get Abdul Carter, but
who? No, this is Travis Hunter. You're not trading up to get an edge rusher and Abdul Carter. This right here is Jacksonville going up to get who consensus picks is the number 1 talent in this draft. I'll be interested if Jacksonville's going to play him both ways. They may. I think he'll be a weapon for Trevor Lawrence. And they may play him at the nickel, man. I just think it's very hard to get the snaps that he thinks he's going to get. on both sides of the ball. He has been stating that he would retire if he can't play on both sides of the ball, which to me is crazy talk and posturing. So we'll see. But Jacksonville gave up a lot, but they are going crazy in their war room. I will say this, man. Shout out to the Athletic. Shout out to the Athletic. I do have a subscription with them. And what they did tonight was pretty smart. Okay, so we were saying we would give some information from the Beast. The Athletic is not letting anyone contact the Beast tonight. So if you click on the Beast link, you get something called server error, which is a smart move by them. So we won't get into that. I like that Jacksonville didn't waste time and that the pick is in. But I will say this, man. I watched a lot of Cam Ward. I think there's been a sloppy comparison made this week with Cam Ward. People saying he's Steve McNair? No. The only similarities between him and Steve McNair is they're both going to have Titan uniforms on. That's where the comparison's in. He is not Steve McNair.
So they gave you a survey error, Dwayne?
Yes. Which is smart. Smart. Because people had the opportunity to download it.
The only thing that I got on here was this. I'm able to do this.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
To get on each player. Because I had it was crazy is I had it before we even went
you could give a little bit.
Nah.
Again, we're not going to plagiarize anyone, but you could do a quick synopsis on what he said about Cam Ward since you got it. We ain't going to do it verbatim. We're just going to grab a little bit of what he said. Strengths and weaknesses is what I would give. I wouldn't give his full description.
Oh yeah, they did it. They did it, Dwayne.
What?
When I clicked into it, it went off a player profile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Which is understandable, and we know why they do it.
There we go. Pick is in. Is that too loud?
Yeah, you just can't have his voice. I can't hear it. I can hear his voice.
All right. Well, I need to hear this, so I'm gonna mute until after the pick.
Yeah, so we're excited to see what these. Like I said, at the end of the day, these young men lives are being changed in one quick decision. So, all of them should be congratulated, even though we're going to go through the first round and talk about each pick. At the end of the day, no matter where you get drafted at, man, you should be happy. It's a great time to celebrate this stuff with your family because this is big for these guys, and they should be very, very happy with what's going on, and celebrate it with their families. And understand this moment. Always a once in a lifetime moment that don't come for every. Hold on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that volume wasn't me. I'm on mute, baby.
Sorry about that. What it is I turned something on and they going through something and start talking and just down the third, but yeah. But like Dwayne said, this is a very, very good time for these young men. Very passionate time. This is a time you celebrate with your family, no matter what, no matter where you get drafted. Guys, just excuse me for a moment.
All right, he looks happy, man. He looks happy. And I think it's because he's going to Florida, man. So Travis Hunter is the pick. Travis Hunter I didn't hear. I would have been interested to hear Armstead if he said position. I didn't hear. I missed it because we can't have the commissioner on this broadcast. So I don't know if he was labeled as an athlete or if he was labeled as a corner or a wide receiver. But hey, Jacksonville, they
Well,
taking a big, taking a big shot.
he's definitely happy, Dwayne.
Well, he's Travis Hunter. There's been a lot that's been said about off the field things, especially with his young lady that he chose. And I just think people need to show this young man some grace, man.
Yeah.
This is a young man. He has the Dion influence, and it's tough when you are in these positions and people hold you under a microscope. He looks happy, and I'm happy for him, man. So, hey, he going to Jacksonville, man. Hey, the Browns made out, man.
The Browns made out because most people don't realize with the Browns is they got a lot of talent in their roster. They have to get the quarterback situation underway. But when you think about having the assets, the draft capital, and that's key with any draft, they got a lot of capital where they could even make another trade down and get more picks. And that's what it's about.
They say, rumor has it, they say that the Giants was trying to get up to, the New York Giants was trying to get up to 2. I'm happy they didn't because I don't want to see Travis Hunter in the NFC East. I just don't. No matter what position he's playing, he's just the type of kid that you don't want to see, man. So it's now the draft gets interesting, man, because what do the Browns do, man? Do the Browns? This could be really bad for the team that I root for because who is the number 1 receiver for the Cleveland Browns? Who is that person?
Yeah.
So they could be in play for T-Mac. I'm not going to hide it, folks. I want T-Mac to drop the 12. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I would like to see him drop the 12. And I think for Travis Hunter, you probably want to be in Florida.
He's in a great situation. When you look at it, the quarterback hasn't really popped the way that most experts said pop. A very innovative coach who knows the landscape of football down there in Florida. I think this is good for him, Dwayne. I think this is the perfect market for him right now. Like you said, he's always been under a whole bunch of scrutiny coming out as the number 1 player in high school, then playing with coach. And I'm happy for him. And I think that his personality will be embraced by Duval. And they have a lot to be proud of, All
right, so sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a long night. But this draft is moving fast because the pick is in for the New York Giants. Unfortunately, or fortunately, that either way you look at it, I'm on X. And this year, X is jumping the picks. So it's already in. It's already known who it is. I don't know if the NFL is going to step in at some point tonight and get X under control. But all the insiders are putting these picks out 4 or 5 minutes.
Interesting move here, man. Interesting move. I must say that I'm not gonna lie to you, Dwayne. Would you like to announce the pick?
No. Respectfully, I think that the pick should not be announced until Roger Goodell goes up there and announces it.
I think this pick is interesting. Dwayne said, we already know.
I'll be honest with you. We'll have our first disagreement of the night. I think it was expected, so I can't call it interesting. This is who they identified very early.
Do they make a trade now with one of their players?
Potentially,
right? Yeah.
They don't have to. We got to remember, and like I said, I'm gonna wait till it's official. But when they made their last couple of runs to Super Bowls, it was with a package that a lot
Has
of
been,
offenses
and,
couldn't do anything with.
and it's funny because that package has been tried to be duplicated by numerous of teams, and nobody's been able to duplicate that package because they tried to say, "Oh, the two guys that they're going to throw in there at tackle, they're small." No, they weren't small.
Mr. Goodell is up making an announcement. And as expected, it's Abdul Carter, man. So these top 5 picks is going kind of sort of like everybody said. I mean, of course, Jacksonville jumping up is a big thing, but the first 3 picks everybody been mocking is there.
And I will say this, Dwayne, but I complained to you earlier, man, about the draft. For 3 picks in 25 minutes, this draft is kind of moving.
No, this draft is moving.
Yeah, because usually they are a little slow. But Abdul Carter, like Dwayne said, tradition, wear the number 11, man. You got to give LeVar Harrington a lot of credit because I think he started the tradition, man, of wearing number 11 all the way to now where his son is going to be wearing number 11 for the University of Penn State. So the Giants have the what is known as considered the best pure pass rusher in this draft. We'll see. What I said earlier about are they going to make the trade? It was a conversation about Kevon Thibodeau possibly being traded. But like Dwayne said, man, why trade him? Just keep him on the roster and just, what you want to do is just have a bunch of guys just go attack the quarterback. Pass rusher, you never have enough.
Well, here you got to think about what Cleveland did, right? Cleveland got the number 5 this year, right? And they got a number 1 pick next year. You know what Cleveland basically did, man, is they recoup draft picks from the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did because they gave up 3 number 1 picks for him. Abdul Carter, very good edge rusher, man. He's part of that number 11 fraternity. Now when you look at the Giants, man, and they're putting it up there now on NFL Network, LeVar Arrington, Navarro Bowman, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter. Now you're going to have young LA wearing it. And this is big for the Giants. You got Brian Burns. You got Thibodeau. Now you have this young man. That's a pretty – and they signed Chauncey Golston from the Cowboys. So that's a nice 4 defensive end rotation that they got. So some people will say, why would you go with an edge rusher when you went with Thibodeau in the top 10 a few years ago as an edge rusher? With this passing league, man, you can't have enough corners and you can't have enough guys that can get after the quarterback. And let's be honest.
According to Jordan Schultz, he said that Travis Hunter told ESPN that Jacksonville had him on the phone with both coordinators.
Okay.
So that's big because I personally think he should be the starting cornerback and maybe come in on some packages. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of eyes on Travis if he can pull this off, like Dwayne said. Not that we're doubting the kid, we're doubting that the physicality of the position.
This morning I gave a gentleman a lot of credit. I think when you consider his background, I hate to bring the background in, but he's the heir to the Starbucks fortune, Jordan Schultz. But the NFL cannot be happy with Jordan Schultz right now. He's already jumped and announced the 4th pick. And so he's doing that. And the dude from the 33rd team is doing it. That's crazy to me. Now, there was a little controversy this morning regarding this Abdul Carter pick and the number 11. Because as we know, Phil Simms wore number 11. And it just hasn't been given out. And me personally, I don't think it should be given out. That's Phil Simms' number. Just going to go on record with that. But this draft is moving fast, man. And okay. We always give credit on this show. Adam Scheffler. The Jaguars are expected to play their first-round draft pick, Travis Hunter, on offense and defense. They will onboard him by giving him a heavy dose of the wide receiver position while still playing him at his more natural position on defense. 2 positions for the number 2 pick in the draft. So there it is. There it is. The next big thing, because 4 is going right along in line with the mock drafts, folks. So if you look at any mock drafts, you already know who the number 4 pick is. So the intrigue will come at 5 again. Does somebody, Chicago, who's at 10, do they trade with the Browns? Do the Browns do another first-round trade to a team that's looking to get Genty and wants to jump ahead of the Raiders at 6?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very interesting. Do the Browns stick and take Genty? Because Genty is not the 4th pick. I will say that without saying who the 4th pick is. It's not Genty. So now the intrigue comes with the Browns. Do they take another phone call for a team like Chicago that wants
I would take the phone call. I would take it. I would take it because at this point you're getting assets. I think the Cleveland, whether people not realize or not, might be trying to drop down all the way to that 12th spot, 12th, 13th spot to maybe pick up the cornerback out of Michigan. Because when you think about it, the word is that Newsom was on the block, right, Dwayne? So they might be trying to pencil Will Johnson at cornerback. So it's a lot of moving parts. Cleveland has basically set the draft. Well, Jacksonville, I say, set the draft on fire. They got the festivities started. So it's going to be interesting going forth. What is the next move?
Do the Dallas Cowboys come up? Do the Dallas Cowboys come up to 5? There have been rumors that the Cowboys have been interested to move up to get Ashton Genty. I've heard people pronounce his name a lot of different ways. I was on a radio show this afternoon and I corrected it. It's Genty. Genty is how we pronounce this name. And I'm real big on making sure we get the pronunciations of these names right, because this is these kids' night. The Browns, ooh. Wow. The Browns have 2 high second-round picks. And in this draft where you can fill needs, like I said, I don't think it's anybody generational in this draft. If you was putting generational on one, I think you would put it on Travis.
I see who the Browns picked.
Yeah.
Did Goodell announce the 4th pick yet?
Didn't announce the 4th pick yet.
Come on. See, this is, you guys in the chat, anybody that's watching, this is what the NFL didn't want. The NFL basically is trying to tell these streaming services, listen, y'all got to slow down. That's because they know who's getting drafted before he announces it. So he hasn't even drafted the 4th pick yet, and Dwayne and myself know who the 5th pick was already.
I don't know who the 5th pick is. I didn't see the 5th pick. I only saw the 4th. So the 4th has been announced, and as expected, is Will Campbell. And I would like to expound on Will Campbell. Will Campbell was the number 1 offensive tackle in this draft from the very beginning. I said it. I think Will Campbell is amazing. You had some people saying he would have to move down the guard because he has short arms. And then when they tested him, his arms was where they needed to be. And all of a sudden, he became the number 1 tackle again. And nothing changed from the way he looked in his last game that he played at LSU. From day one, I said Will Campbell was OT number 1, and he remains OT number 1. You got some of these people One of them who my co-host here calls my twin, and I want him to take that off me because me and him, we are not in agreement on a lot of things here lately. Some people had the audacity to say Will Campbell didn't get a first round grade. So I feel good for this young man, Will Campbell. I thought he was the best going into it, and proves that he's the best now.
I know that when I seen the game that he played against Alabama, he just was solid. Nobody could beat him. And that's plain and simple. I think one of the things that Will Campbell and most people didn't understand is a lot of times, definitely when you talk about linemen, they have very, very low key personalities. And I think that Will Campbell's personality is low key. The fifth pick is in. And as Dwayne got so excited, it's one of his boys from Michigan. I knew who it was and I couldn't say anything. So I know he's excited. Dwayne, you want to announce the pick?
No, because Roger Goodell has not made the pick yet. You know, these people on Twitter, man, they need to slow down, man. They need to slow down. But I'm very happy for the young man that's going to be picked fifth. Again, there's no surprises. If you look at the mock draft, this is how they thought it was going to go. But I will tell you this. The Cleveland Browns have a very good opportunity to make themselves into a very, very good team. Will Campbell, you deserve those tears, young man. Will Campbell, all I know, and I said this to my brother Quentin, just look a little bit at Will Campbell. I call Quentin, correct me if I'm wrong, stop me when I'm lying. I call Quentin Ford, my co-host. Yeah, I'm sorry, I gave his full government. My name's Dwayne Morris. So here we go. I said, brother, what you doing right now? Oh, I ain't doing nothing, little guy. I said, do me a favor and turn on this LSU game and watch 66 and tell me what you think.
And literally everybody that he touched, it was like he had glue on his hands because nobody could get past him. And I was shocked that so many people, he was projected as the number one tackle. So many people, and see what happens with college sports is that, and I'll say it, the team that plays in Ohio, because they've been in big games so much lately, and they got so many good players, sometimes the players get rated high. And Justin Simmons, and I'll say it, is a good player, but he's coming off a patella injury. So a lot of times, he's projected. Yeah, he has upside, but when you look at Will Campbell, he's just been straight steady since he's been in college football. He's just been a steady player, he's a solid guy. And a lot of times when you have these players, when they're so humble, they try to say, oh, they don't got to fight for football. And at the end of the day, he got drafted exactly where he was supposed to get drafted. Happy for the kid, excited for him. Has nowhere to go here but up, So we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for this next pick, man. I really am. It's a kid that I love, and he's a beast. He is a bona fide beast. But I want to say to the world, Cleveland's getting this pick, right? And I want people to listen to me for a second. Cleveland's getting this pick, and they're picking a damn good player. Damn good player. Okay? This young man, he never moves backwards. Never moves backwards. He knows how to play in cold weather. And guess what, y'all? It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Big number 55, Mason Graham to the Browns. Now, check this out. The Browns open up tomorrow, day 2, with pick 33 and 36. I'm not saying anything else. Not saying anything else. Now, Mason Graham, this guy was a wrestler in high school. He plays with great leverage. I heard people saying he's short, he's this. He's a disruptive force in the middle. And Jordan Schultz, you bastard. You're taking all the intrigue out of the draft, sir, by just telling what's going on. And it's starting to PO me a little bit what Jordan Schultz is doing on Twitter right now. Mason Graham is an ugly Big Ten defensive tackle. He's a disruptive force. He moves people. He could play in this weather. And Cleveland has a chance to really improve themselves, man. Really,
what a player put it next to Myles Garrett. Like what a player. What Myles Garrett should be very, very happy right now that he's going to be playing next to potentially a really, really good defensive tackle. I know it's been a lot with the team that we root for as far as getting guys from Michigan. And I'm going to just say this. You don't draft a college. You draft a player. And a lot of people got a lot to say about players that have came through that. Definitely the Cowboy organization from Michigan. I'll just say this: the Cowboys lost a player from Michigan that was the heart and soul of that locker room. So Mason Graham, right next to Myles Garrett, should be a very, very interesting defensive line.
Just look at the highlights of him. Look how he splits the double and just brings people down. Like, I'm watching NFL Network, man. This is my go-to. And he's disruptive, man. It's going to be very hard to run on his side, man. It's going to be very hard to run on his side. I love him. So you got Las Vegas on the clock. The pick has already been announced in the X world. And then you got the New York Jets, which is going to be very interesting because might as well just tell you, fellas and ladies, this mock has gone, this draft has gone chalk as far as the first 6 names that were going to come off the board. And if you do a little bit of research, you know the Raiders are picking Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State. You know, that's a Pete Carroll. You know, they got Geno Smith. They got a little bit of wide outs. And now they're going to have who everybody says is the best running back in the draft.
And this is right up Pete's alley.
Yeah.
This is Pete all the way. This is what Pete will definitely do.
Yeah. So, you know, Jordan Schultz, who, like, again, we give him a lot of credit in these parts, but he's jumping this draft tonight. And I guess there ain't nothing anybody can do about it.
Why he's choosing to do it, I have no idea, Dwayne.
I'm a little surprised that he's jumping it, but I will say, man, it's 8:47 and we threw 6 picks, man. That's lightning fast for the NFL, man.
Yeah.
That's lightning fast. But I am surprised because the NFL is not letting a lot of these YouTubers do what they're going to do.
Which is crazy because you would think that because of their partnership with the NFL, you would think that they wouldn't mind, but they really cracked down on the streamers this year. But I think this pick is interesting. I think Pete Carroll, he got his beast mode 2.0. This is good. This is going to protect Geno Smith. He's going to run him a lot. I know a lot of people complained about Gentry had a lot of carries, but when you look at what Gentry could do, man, the kid's he was a one-man wrecking crew with Boise State. Really solid, good running back. Really high, so we know why the running backs are going high, why they should be going high. It's going to be interesting, these next few picks.
Pick 8 is in play. There's rumors that there are teams calling Carolina to come up to 8. So we're just throwing that out there. I don't know exactly who they may be coming up to 8-4, but it sounds like there are many teams calling the Panthers at 8 to get up to 8.
Interesting.
And there are a bunch of insiders that are saying this.
Yeah, Gentry, slippery, elusive, really solid running back, man. Really, really good running back for the Raiders. The Raiders do what the Raiders do. They always get these solid players to come out and really show out and show up. I'm intrigued because we kind of know it's just like a chalk pit. You knew that Pete would get his guy as running back. You knew that this would happen.
Sorry, folks. I'm reading some things because, as I said before, I'm a fan of the team with the star in the helmet. And there's rumblings that they may be trying to get up to 8. I don't know who, but the Jets have made their selection. And as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, I want a receiver at 12. And this draft is falling for the for the Dallas Cowboys to get a wide receiver. No surprise with the New York Jets pick. If you know Aaron Glenn and you know the school he's from, he wants to take you physically.
Yeah.
He wants to take you physically. So it's no surprise. The dude from the 33rd team and Jordan Schultz are competing with each other to see who gets the picks out faster. And it's whew, yeah, it's the big offensive lineman from Missouri, who, if you know anything, they got the big offensive lineman from Penn State last year, and Tyron Smith retired. So you're going to move the big fella that was at Penn State, Fasanu. You're going to move him to left tackle, and you'll put Mamambu.
Another resource going to their offensive line. They're another team. The last 7-8 years have consistently drafted.
This draft is flying, folks. This draft is flying. I don't know when this draft falls down. I'm gonna make a pact with my brother right now, Quentin Ford. As we get closer to the Dallas Cowboys pick, I am going to get off of X. I would rather know the pick when Roger Goodell announces it. As a fan of the Cowboys, I'm not telling my brother he has to do that. He can even tell me the picks in. Hopefully, by his reaction, I won't be able to tell who it is or what direction they went in. Because I want an element of surprise with my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm just going to say I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed by what's happening on X.
Why do you think it's a need for these guys to compete with getting the pick out instead of just waiting for Goodell to say the pick?
I don't know.
They're literally doing it a pick ahead of time.
They had calmed this down in the last couple of years, and this year they just don't care. They're basically telling you they don't care.
So much so that I have a bunch of different stuff going on, Dwayne, with coverage, and a lot of the guys are still at 6. A lot of the guys are still talking about Gentry to certain networks.
Because it's happening too fast. They gotta give these guys a little bit of time, man.
I do have a live look at the war room for the team we root for. They're just kicking it. They're just kicking it. Just I'll share it with you because I know you would like to see. This is the Dallas Cowboys war room. What's going on in there? They're just all talking around. You see Jerry, you
Is
see
there any
Steven, you
movement?
see Will McClay, see you see
And
Charlotte. No movement. You see Coach Shoddy.
shout out to the guys you see on the screen. Shout out to Brian Brodus. Shout out to Nick
Go ahead,
Harris.
Dwayne.
Shout out to Zach Wolchek. Shout out to Vach Lombardi. Shout out to all those guys that are doing the Dallas Cowboys coverage. I'm interested. Does Carolina does Carolina give Bryce Young another offensive weapon? Do they go tight end? Do they go wide receiver?
You have to, right?
Or do they go, well,
I'd go tight end. I'd go tight end.
a lot of buzz around that team is that they
I
love
think I
the
would
Walker.
go tight end, Dwayne.
A lot of buzz around that team is that they love the Walker kid.
Mm.
Now, I love the pick for the Jets as far as the potential of this kid.
Solid.
Well, he still has room to grow. Like out of all the people in this draft, I think he's the one that's still a blank canvas, man. Still with a lot of time and a lot of room to grow, man.
I see Will Johnson is at the draft looking sharp with his white suit on,
Yeah,
white
that's my
sport
boy, man.
jacket. A lot of people got something to say about Will Johnson because he ain't run a 40. But guess what? Will Johnson ain't run a 40 in high school.
Just look at the highlights of this kid, man. 6'4" and a quarter, 332 pounds. He ran a sub 540. Not that that means anything. But he's a big guy, man. He's a knee bender, and he moves people, man.
Pretty quiet right now. I'm glad that Jordan Schultz done slowed down a little bit because literally he was 2 picks ahead.
I don't know how much he's going to slow down, unless he's working the phones to see if there's a trade. Membu is he's a player, man.
Athletic too.
Very athletic. Some of the things you see on X, I would like to say to the owner of X and the owner of Tesla, who I won't name his name, do better, man. These sex bots and soft and hard porn on this application is terrible. I'm just trying to see the NFL draft. That's all. Russell Wilson live at the draft party wearing his number 3 Giant jersey for the first time. That may not excite you, Giant fans, but I'm telling you, they were not going to reach for a quarterback at 3. Now, they may trade back in. Interesting, there's a picture.
I know the pick, Dwayne.
There's a picture that was posted of Abdul Carter and Thibodeau. And in that picture, they had Abdul Carter at jersey 51. I don't mind that pick for the Panthers. I don't mind it at all. It changes things a little bit for our team, but I don't mind it at all. It means that our team may take somebody that I don't want. But as we said, you need a weapon for Bryce Young. So we know we might as well jump it. It's out there. T-Mac going, Tedero McMillan going to the Panthers here makes sense.
Big pick for that franchise.
Yeah.
They got their big receiver. Interesting pick. I think it's
now,
good pick for the
full
young
disclosure, he was the first person that I wanted the Dallas Cowboys to take. Now I want the Cowboys to trade down. I would like to see them trade down. I'm hoping they don't reach for Matthew Golden at 12. I'm hoping they don't. So we'll see. We'll see. Happy for T-Mac. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things about him. We'll see what happens, man.
And one thing about when a player that you wanted on your team gets drafted, you know they're going to get drafted. You want your team to draft them, but as long as your team didn't pass on them, you're not disappointed.
Listen, I'm not brokenhearted. I'm trying to tell you, in this draft, there's a lot of people that are similar. If I'm the Cowboys and I trade down and I get me an Ibuka or I get me a Luther Burton, I'm good, to be honest. The reason I identified T-Mac as somebody that I wanted for the Dallas Cowboys is because he's 6'4". He's different than what CeeDee Lamb is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and throw a remote. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, our draft is over because the Carolina Panthers took T-Mac. Not going to do it. Not me. I mean, the floor is yours. Like, I don't know if you have a different opinion.
No. My opinion is great pick for that team. I mean, we didn't have the opportunity to get him at the end of the day. I think that same way you look at fit, if you wanted him for the Cowboys, you looked at it seemed like the perfect fit and why anybody that's a Cowboy fan would want him and as the other guy next to CeeDee Lamb. Not that he's another guy like he's a bad player or can't potentially be a good player, but I think he's a great pick. And you saw how a lot of posturing was they were saying Cowboys, and then it even said this morning that he might not make it because people were in on him. It was certain teams like Jacksonville, certain teams like Carolina. They say Denver is willing to trade up to get a particular receiver. So I'm happy for T-Mac. I think that a lot of people, like I said earlier, is going to be some highlights during the preseason if he's healthy. I always say healthy because health is important in sports. Most people don't consider. If he's healthy, he is going to be a highlight machine with his one-handed catches. He attacks the football like no other guy I've seen attack the football in the NFL since Des Bryant, to be honest with you. He's very rarely is a body catcher. He go get it. You could see from the way he attacks the football that he has a volleyball background. He don't let the ball come to his body too much. Puts his hands out and he tucks the hands away. Real big. So you'll see him on slants, which will be very, very easy for him early going. So I'm excited for the player. I'm excited for all these young men, regardless of my personal views of who I want on my team. I'm excited for the players and look forward to the player. And, because I don't want to see nobody fail. Unfortunately, some players don't fan out. And up until this point, Bryce Young hasn't been what they expected. So now he got his guy.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. I mean, good for T-Mac. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Bryce Young. And so now there's intrigue, man. There's intrigue. One name I will throw out there for the Dallas Cowboys, and I would not be mad if they drafted him. I'm gonna give you two names. Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan. And as Q can attest, I'm a big Omarion Hampton fan, and I don't have a problem taking him at 12. I'm going to let that be. There are two names associated with the Dallas Cowboys that scare me, and that's the offensive guard from North Dakota State, Zabel, and that's Matthew Golden. I do not want either one of them young men. If it's not Will Johnson or Omarion Hampton, I want to trade down. I want to trade with Denver. I want to go into that 20 slot, pick up maybe another third round pick and get a Ibuka or get a Luther Burton. I'm just not sold on Golden. Now, I'm alone because a lot of these experts have him as the number one wide receiver. They had him as the number one wide receiver, even over T-Mac. So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. I know from all reports that the Cowboys love the pick. The Saints pick is in. I gotta say, I'm surprised a little bit by the Saints pick. They're going with an offensive lineman from Texas.
When Dwayne said this draft is flying, it is flying. We're at the 9th pick already, you guys.
Yeah,
ninth pick is in. 9th pick is in already.
A lot of the Cowboy insiders and stuff are going crazy because T-Mac went before he got to 12. But as I said to another one of our friends, Craig, I didn't think he was going to make it to 12. I wanted him to, but I really didn't think he would ever make it there. So it's going to be interesting. I do not want an offensive lineman. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Not at 12.
If you trade down, I don't have a problem with trading down. So you got the Bears at 10.
And then the Niners at 11.
Bears at 10.
Could the Bears go get their running back here?
They could go Hampton here, or the Bears could go offensive lineman. I think there was a lot of people that thought the Bears loved Banks.
And they spent a lot of money on offensive linemen in the offseason already. But you're right. They still may go out and get another one. Or possibly go defense.
Yeah.
The Bears is an up and pick 'em draft. You never know what they're gonna get, really. I would go with, as crazy as it may sound, Dwayne. You go with who you think would fit good with them, and I hate to say it, I would go with the running back. I would go with Omarion Hampton.
If you were who, the Bears?
Yeah, I'd go with them. Have a running back there. They got the receivers. The Bears' offense should be pretty good. I know that the quarterback said that they could be light years this year ahead of where they were last year. So it's a lot of intrigue in the draft. The draft, actually, you guys, like I said earlier, it's moving fast, and it's basically not many surprises, trades here and there, but
no, that was a big surprise. What
Carolina did,
what Jacksonville gave up. Not what Carolina did. I'm just talking about the players. We all knew who these players were going to be. Let's be honest. T-Mac, sorry, because he don't like Tet. T-Mac was a top 10 talent. So It's not surprising he went in the top 10. Like, it would have been shocking for me. I saw some people mocking him at 18, 19. Some people had him in the 20s. And for me, I was like, you have to be crazy. He's not falling that low. Now, do the Bears go with either Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland?
Oh, well, you know what, Dwayne? I forgot about that. Tyler Warren might be the one. He might be the one you want to have, as everybody always considers the tight end, the quarterback's best friend. Warren would be a good pick for them. Warren would be a solid player for them. And they basically got the outside guys. Like I said, they the Bears are an interesting team. I know that a lot of people they fell off schedule after that tough loss to Washington. But if you look at the Bears in the early season, they really were playing pretty good football.
Let me say this to Cowboy Nation and anybody that's watching this. If it's Tyler Booker at 12, I'm not going to sit here and go crazy, folks, because he's one that you can put at right guard and you leave him there for a decade. And he's an all pro. He's a nasty physical guard. So if you take him and you have Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker in the middle of your offensive line, I'm not going to sit here and say no. Got to remember who the Dallas Cowboys are. They do not draft skill position players. They just don't. I went through the history and showed everybody the history. So Tyler Booker would not be a surprise for me.
The Bears pick is in, you guys. The Bears pick is in. Very interesting pick. Like I said, hey, I'm gonna just say it. Two guys came out of my partner, my co-host, my friend. Two boys from his college has already been drafted. He's not gonna complain.
Listen,
a lot of people said
I've been telling people from day one, everybody jumped on the Tyler Warren. No, man. Cousin Loveland is the best tight end in this draft. And him going to Chicago with Ben Johnson, you see what Ben Johnson did with Sam Laporta. Him going from Michigan to Chicago, it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
Good, solid pick. Good pick. Really good pick. This draft, like I said, now we only got
11 is the 49ers. I think the 49ers is going corner. I think it'll probably be the corner from Texas. And now with me at Dallas, because we can talk about Dallas now, I think you're looking at Golden. I think you're looking at Booker. I think you're looking at Will Johnson. And I think you're looking at Omarion Hampton or a trade down. 49ers need a lot. Like, I can see the 49ers going offensive line. I can see the 49ers doing a lot of different things. But did I think the Dallas Cowboys would potentially be picking by 9:30 this evening? I did not.
Very, very interesting pick. I like the Bears pick for them.
Cousin Loveland is special. He's a special talent. NFL, come on, man, with Laura Rutledge and Colleen Wolfe. Y'all just really, yeah. Please. And the pick is in for the 49ers. So the Cowboys are on the clock. Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Ooh. Hey, we here, man. I would like the fella from Michigan and Dallas. Yeah. Michael Williams is going to the San Francisco 49ers. So, hey, listen, man, I'm not going to get on X. We're going to know who the Cowboy guy is way before. We'll probably know who the Cowboys is picking in the next 5 minutes. But Michael Williams is off the board, man. I wouldn't mind a trade down with the Cowboys. Again, I think it may be Matthew Golden. I'm not a big Matthew Golden fan, but Cowboys need receivers, man. So I'm not going to sit here and say no. They need skill position. So if they take Matthew Golden, I'll live with it, to be honest with you. I have no choice. And I'm going to hope he is what everybody thinks he is.
Very, very interesting pick by the 49ers. Going to go get Micaiah Williams. I think that's a good pick. He's going to be lined up opposite of Bosa, so it's going to be interesting to
Michael
see where they go.
Michael Williams is a special edge. He really is. I thought the Saints was going to take him. Um, Generational, no, but I think he's really good. A lot of Cowboy people are panicking right now. The Cowboys could go Jalen Walker. He's a do-it-all. He can play outside linebacker. He can go edge. You know, they could go Golden. They could go Hampton. They could go to offensive guard from North Dakota State. They could go to offensive guard from Alabama.
Got a live look in the war room. Got a live look in the war room.
Or they could trade
sitting there just talking because they. I see Shotty talking to Jerry.
You might as well pop it up, bro. Might as well pop it up so we can see it. See what's going on. It should be Coastal Loveland. He's better than Tyler Warren. There's a lot of Cowboy insiders speculating that it's going to be an offensive line. Another name you could think of, turn that volume down though, bro. Another name to think about for Cowboys Nation is Walter Nolan, the defensive tackle from Ole Miss. You got that volume up, bro.
The volume ain't up.
I was hearing
I don't even
Goodell. Huh?
I don't even hear it.
Yeah, I was hearing Goodell in the background talking about Walter Payton. Or somebody was talking about Walter Payton. I'm sure Jordan Schultz or Ari will have it before anybody else. Michael Williams fits, and I know we still talking about Coastal Loveland, but Michael Williams fits what Robert Saleh likes to do. Man, Coastal got some big moose up there. Jeez. Full disclosure, with us being at this point, I would love Will Johnson for the Dallas Cowboys. You don't know what's going on with what? You don't know what's going on with Trayvon Diggs. And are they on the phone? Did Jerry pick the phone up? Is the defensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator in the room?
Will's texting.
Maybe a trade, bro. Because they don't seem to be texting around a lot.
No coordinators that I could see. Shotty. Yeah, they don't seem to be moving like it ain't nothing. They seem like it's. I would say, Will McClay just picked up the trade chart. That trade chart that they usually use to number it. He picked it up while he's texting somebody.
Okay. Trade may be in play. Now they say the Rams is trying to get up because they love Colston Loveland, but they also love Warren. And it's a rumor that the Rams love Omarion Hampton, but I'm gonna be honest, as a Cowboy fan, I don't want to move that far down. Sounds like Cowboys insiders are saying if they stick at 12, it's going to be Booker from Oklahoma, but they're fielding calls. I'm going to say what my man said earlier today. You may get booed, but you're going to sleep well at night. Like I said, I'm not going to sit
Steven is
here.
on the phone, Dwayne. As you can see, Steven is on the phone.
If they stay here, it's going to be Booker. If not, it'll be a trade.
Steven is still on the phone. I believe this is a trade, Dwayne. Steven is staying on the phone, not giving nobody the phone. I don't know how clear you can see it on the screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He just hung up.
Okay. Take it to the last minute.
The room seems happy with whatever he got on the phone, whatever he talked about. No coordinators has still came in the room. Still the same usual people
Oh,
that
yeah.
see.
I think it's Booker, which is not a sexy pick. I wanted a running back or a receiver in these first three picks. But again, Booker's the type of guy that you pencil in at your right guard for the next 10 years. But what they have done in free agency, I don't know. I think the best value on the board right now may be Jalen Walker. But if you get Tyler Booker, you're going to be a physical team. You're going to be very physical. And as I said to you earlier today, it may not matter who's running the ball if you put in Tyler Booker at guard. It's just shocking to me how little movement there seemed to be. Now, is the NFL telling these powers to be, don't jump the Cowboy pick? Did Will pick up the phone yet?
Yes, Will is on the phone.
Okay, so the pick will be in. I can't see it. That's the only reason I asked.
Will gave the phone to Jerry.
Yeah. I got a feeling it's official. It is who it's the big guard, bro. It's Tyler Booker from Alabama, which hey, you put that boy at right guard and you don't touch him for the next 10 years, bro. And they stay true they stay true to who they are, man. This is a team that drafts linemen. That's what they do. They draft linemen. And now they got another lineman. And I just hope day 2 and day 3 they address these skill positions. Booker was a name that got a lot of pub.
Solid pick, man. The War Room, they're happy. They're happy with the pick. I mean, who wouldn't be happy with getting a guy that they could pencil in for 10, 12 years? You know, and like you said earlier when we were talking, the strength is going to be the middle of their line. Their middle line is going to be so good, should be so good potentially.
It's a man
that
that had 1,035 pass block attempts in his college career and only gave up 2 sacks.
Cowboy War Room is very happy right now.
Oh, he's in Green Bay.
A lot of congratulatory fist pumps, high fives. The coaches, you got your offensive coordinator, offensive line coaches are happy. And for all those that say Peter Schrager don't know what he's doing, Peter Schrager called this picker this morning. For those that don't, we get a kickoff of the Cowboys names, and they had 2 Smiths, now they got 2 Tylers. Another Tyler is in the building. 3. Tyler Biadasz. What's the other one? Oh, Tyler Guy. They got the Tyler Law Firm. Happy for this kid, man. You know,
You plug him in at right guard for the next decade. And as Todd Miche said earlier today, you sleep good at night. When you think about it this way too, folks. When you think about the New York Giants defensive line, when you think about Jalen Carter and what the Eagles have at their defensive tackles, you draft a Booker. It's what the Dallas Cowboys do, folks. They draft linemen. They don't draft skill position players. They draft linemen.
it's a smart pick. It's a solid pick.
Don't get suckered into what you're gonna see. You got one of the Cowboys insiders already saying they panicked and all that. It's a typical Dallas Cowboy pick. Look at that. There it is right there. First round since 2000. It's always offensive lineman. 2002, 2014, 2025. But this young man moves people, man. And Brian Schottenheimer wants to be physical. I need skill position, though. I need a wide receiver. I need a running back. Round 2, I'm going wide receiver, though. Round 3, I can still give me a decent running back.
Round 2, you get one of the boys from Iowa State?
If they're there, yeah. If a Luther Burton is there, I do something like that. You're going to have a very young offensive line when you think about it, right? So you're going to have Guyton. You're going to have Tyler Smith, who's still very young. You're going to have BB, who's going to be – so your offensive line next year is going to have 2 second-year players and a rookie with Terrence Steele and
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith.
So you're basically gonna have a 6-year player. I think this is still 6-year going in. Tyler Smith's 4th year, and then the other 2 guys 2 years, and then the rookie. Be interesting. The Cowboys got their guy. The Cowboy fans, you and myself, you can't be upset with this pick. I know a lot of times
they're going to be upset. Trust me. The Cowboys will get a D grade, a C grade. You'll hear everybody on the shows tomorrow talking about what are they doing. They needed a wide receiver. They needed a running back. You're going to hear all that. This is not going to be universally loved, but I'm telling you, from a football standpoint, if he's healthy, you got your guard for the next decade. Ian Rappaport. The Cowboys take one of their favorite players with Booker. After his visit, they were sold on him being a culture-setting piece. And they're going back to their roots. Strong, physical offense.
With the departure, retirement of Zach Martin, this was kind of written. The Cowboys brought a lot of guys in there in their offseason to figure out what they were going to do at guard. But now the good thing, they got depth at these positions. It's going to be some interesting. I won't say it's be camp battles because the 5 starters are basically set. But I say it's going to be some interesting practices now. The Cowboys offensive line is going to be going against some good a great pass rusher on the other side, potentially another good one in Fowler, who's been really good in the league. So they're going to learn. They're going to get their stripes early and often in practice. And like Dwayne said, the strength of the middle of the Giants and the Eagles defenses was key with getting Booker, because you want to be able to keep Dak Prescott to be able to handle the pressure coming at him up front.
That's where I disagree. I don't think this is about Dak Prescott. I think this is about Brian Schottenheimer wanting to run the football. Now, when you go inside duo, ISO, or you go inside zone, you already have an all-pro guard in Tyler Smith. You got Connor Beebe, who was moving people from his center position. And now you got this guy. We're strong up the middle. The Cowboys are stupid strong up the middle. It's not a sexy pick. It's a solid pick, though. Like, I'm not going to sit here and knock a kid that's going to be 10 years with multiple All-Pros.
Colts pick is in. Well, hold up. I said the Colts pick is in. Yeah, damn, he ran through them picks real quick, Dwayne. The Dolphins and the Colts picks is in. Jordan Schultz is wilding. I must say, I am so happy that the Dolphins made this pick. I am elated that the Dolphins decided to get Kenneth Grant. I think the kid is awesome. He was the guy that Dwayne told me about early because I had to look at Graham, and I'll be honest with you, Kenneth Grant is a guy that in a year or two you're going to be very, very happy with him after a couple years once he gets his feet wet in the league. Your mic is muted, Wayne.
I will say this. I'm very happy for this young man. He's the third Michigan player off the board, but I got to be honest. The last Michigan player off the board is going to be the one that I thought should be the first. But for this Michigan team, for everybody that has something to say about this team, 3 Big Ten championships, back to back to back. Went to the college football playoffs 3 years in a row. Won the national championship. And now you've had 3 players picked in the top 13, man. Listen, it is what it is, man. And like I said, going back to Dallas, you already hear all the people telling them they're crazy. You got a lot of people saying they reached on a guard, and you still had Joshua Simmons there. You still had Matthew Golden there. You still had a player that they identified. This is a guy that they want to be able to maul people. And this is what it is, man.
And then when you look at what they have at right tackle, and I know a lot of people was down on Terrence this year. Terrence's strength is he is a right tackle. He's average in pass pro, but he's excellent in the run game. And you put this big nasty right next to him, and I love big nasties. At the end of the day, I'm a big nasty fan. Offensive defensive line is how you win football in them trenches. And you put him next to Terrence, like Dwayne said, you can get very physical in the run game. You could basically have teams, and we've seen it. You could be playing teams, and they don't even want to play against you no more at the end by the third quarter because you're just mauling them up front.
If the Cowboys would have went and they went in there with Brock Hoffman, Sadiq Charles, the guy from Miami, people would have been killing them. They were not going to go offensive tackle after they used their number 1 pick on an offensive tackle last year.
And then the highest paid lineman on their team is the other tackle. Sometimes people don't realize it's not just draft capital, it's resources, money. By the time the Cowboys draft their next tackle,
this makes sense.
Tyler Smith will be making the money and still might not even be on the team. So sometimes I know and people get upset, like you said, Dwayne, that we don't get the oohs and ah guys. But this is where you win football games, in the trenches. And when you get an offensive line, when you get an offensive coordinator, when you get these guys who are known as teachers, when you get these guys who are physical in the run game, like Clayton Adams was known for in Arizona, this is tailor-made for him. This is tailor-made.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Cowboys trading back into the bottom half of this first round and getting their running back. Whoever that may be. Whether it be Trayvon Henderson.
What? Cowboy Twitter is going crazy right now. That's what Dwayne is.
Cowboy Twitter. And a guy that I really liked when he first came on the scene, Vach Voch, Voch. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name right. Because
Who
he
has
said
the pleasure?
a lot of people been pronouncing his name wrong. It's Voch, Voch, Voch. He tweeted something 3 days ago, and he just retweeted it. Now you gotta know that he loves offensive linemen, and his tweet was, "Tyler Booker moved people's kids around because he ain't got anything else to do." So, of course, he's gonna love it. You know, he's a lineman guy. I'm sure the guy that Q used to call my twin, Brodus, I'm sure he'll like it. Let me see something.
Brodus has said that would be the pick at 20, definitely, if they'd have traded down.
I just want to see if Brodus had him with a first round grade. There was only 15 players that Brodus had with a first round grade, and he was not one of the 15. The only offensive lineman he had as a first round grade was Simmons, Campbell, and Mambu. But I don't even think he had him as a second round grade. He had him as a second round grade. He had him as a second round grade. He had him as the 37th player on his board. Doesn't always mean anything. Right now, I think Jihad Campbell probably goes at 15. It may be Jalen Walker, though. Jalen Walker's still on the board. That's the one that shocks me right now, that Jalen Walker is still there.
Were you shocked that Miami got Grant, Dwayne?
I was.
That's higher than I thought he would go, Dwayne. It was quiet on his front.
I will tell you this, though, and it's back to the Cowboys, man. The interior of the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, you're not touching it for a decade. You're going to have Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, and Tyler Booker in the middle of that Dallas Cowboy offensive line. And again, what is the strength? What is the strength of the Philadelphia Eagles?
The defensive line. The defensive tackles. What is the strength of the Giants? With who can't get away from the Giants defensive tackle, right, Dwayne? 5 years ago, I got hung up on the phone, but regarding Dexter Lawrence. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the pick. I think it was a good pick.
Our offensive line is the Tylers, man. You got 3 of them. Guyton, Smith, and Booker. Now, one thing I love about Booker, man, is his pedigree. National champion in high school, played at Alabama, championship pedigree there. And so he's a player.
I will tell you, I did not think Grant was going to go that high with Miami. I'm happy for the kid, though. I'm really happy for him.
One thing I will say about the Dallas Cowboys, they love linemen. They love linemen. And I'm going to say it right now. We've already talked about my bias with the Michigan Wolverines. Somebody is going to get a steal with Will Johnson.
I think Atlanta should get him.
Now, think about what the Dallas Cowboys have done, right? They man, no yawning, Q. We still got a long way to go, brother. No yawning.
I'm good.
That's why I got my energy drink. Um, think about Clayton Adams. Think about the offensive line coach from Kansas State. Think about Brian Schottenheimer telling you what he wants to be strong in the run game. And then I want you to think about the fact that we are at 15 and there hasn't been another wide receiver taken and there hasn't been another running back taken. So that's all falling down to the second round. I think you got to get a wide receiver in the second round, though. If Luther Burton is there, if Higgins is there, you got to get those guys. You got them. I am not going to knock somebody.
Let's see on your big board, Dwayne. This is your big board.
We want to go to my big board.
Yeah, your big board.
Let's take a look
at your big board. Who's gone?
Let's take a look at my big board and see if I got some of these first 15 players if they were on my big board. Let's take a look, man. Let's take a look here. Oh, man, what's going on? Why is my tablet not working the way that I want it to work right now? Let's see. Travis Hunter was my number 1. He's gone. Mason Graham was my number 2. Gone. Abdul Carter, my number 3. Gone. Will Campbell, my number 5, is gone. Genty, my number 8, is gone. Ted McMillan, my number 10, is gone. Kelvin Banks Jr., my number 11. Michael Williams, my number 13. Kenneth Grant, my number 14. Cam Ward, my number 15. Coastal Loveland, my number 20. Tyler Warren, my number 23. Pretty darn good, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had Kenneth Grant at 14 and Michael Williams at 13, and they went right around there. Had T-Mac at 10, right around there.
And so you had Booker, even though it was just 50 players, you had Booker starred.
And what did I say the star meant?
The star meant players to watch.
Yes, sir. So I did have Booker. Had him at 44, but I did have him. I think the best player still available in this draft is Will Johnson. I think after that, you're looking at Jalen Walker. I'm really surprised Jalen Walker is still on this board. And I got to think he's coming off the board at 15.
He is, Dwayne. It's in already. It's in already. It's in. Are we going to start looking for Marion Hampton here?
Come on, Shane. Come on, James Slater. And I love James Slater, but come on with that tweet. To say that Booker works with Duke Manyweather, come on, man.
And that whole situation might be over after what's going on with Tyler Guyton. You know, they got coaches there to do that. You want to work with somebody in the offseason, that's different.
Can you play audio on this, or you don't want to do that?
Where's it from?
It's from X.
Just turn it up. Get as close to your mic as you can.
Nah, I sent it to you because I want you to be able to put it on the screen too. It's from one of our favorites. Let me tell you that.
Tell me who it is. I got X in my background. Who is it?
It's from Baldy. Jesus. I'm telling you, man, I am not going to knock this pick from the Dallas Cowboys because this guy is mean, nasty, physical, and he's good in the run and pass.
Fair use.
What happened?
Fair use. I got to say the fair use song.
Oh, my bad.
Basically a fire hydrant with feet. I always lose Zach Martin to retirement. They replace him with Tyler Booker. Book it with Booker. Just push the pile like he's a mauler. All right. This guy is basically a fire hydrant with feet attached to it. He's square. His sets are always good. Like, watch the power step with the right foot. Power step, and boom. Snap the hips and just start walking guys off the line of scrimmage. Old school football. Like, get them on the boards and let them walk them off the line of scrimmage. Like, this guy moves big people, and tackles are getting bigger. You need Booker. Like, watch him pull and just hit somebody. Just pull, get out there on the perimeter, and go find somebody with a different color jersey. Like, there it is. Like, just go hit somebody, knock them down, knock them all down. Like bowling for dollars. Knock down the pins. This is what Booker does. Like, and oh, by the way, the guy loves ball. Like, you watch this pass pro right here. This is what it looks like. Keep the pocket flat for Dak. Bam, that's Jalen Walker right there. Just stone him. All right, lock him out. Let the quarterback do his job. And then this is what helps looks like. Offense line help, right? You're free. You can, like, just go jack somebody. Just go decleat somebody. Go have some fun. This is what help looks like when you watch Tyler Booker right here. Like, here he is. He's free. Now here he comes. Bam. Down goes a bulldog. Knock them all down.
Listen, he's physical.
You gotta love Baldy, man. You gotta love Brian Baldy, you guys.
What's the play that Kayla? What's the play that the new Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator?
Listen. For those that don't know anything about football, and I'm not saying nobody don't know what Dwayne is referring to. It is a big play that a lot of players don't do. The offensive coordinator for the Cowboys used to be the line coach for the Arizona Cardinals. He is known as what they call a pin and pull guy, where the guards will pull and get on the outside. And actually, when you look at Tyler Smith, and when you look at Tyler Booker, you're going to have two very, very, very athletic guards who will be doing a lot of pin and pulls. So Atlanta has drafted Jalen Walker, you guys. What's up, Wayne?
Dan Orlovsky said this pick was in direct correlation to who the Eagles have at defensive tackles and Schottenheimer's desire to run the football. And I don't have a problem with it. Nick Harris. The Cowboys waited until the very last second to turn the card in for Booker, waiting on the phone to ring. The Houston Texans called late, but the two sides weren't close. Dallas takes Booker. Another person that I like a lot, Zach Walchuk. All right, let's see. Does the Cardinals go with Matthew Golden here? Or do they take my boy Will Johnson and stop this ridiculous fall? Ooh, Walter Nolan.
Wow.
All right, so Zach Walchuk, another guy that me and Quentin like to give credit to. Tyler Booker went to IMG and was a 5-star offensive tackle and the 10th player on the ESPN 300. Rotated at both guard spots his freshman year. Then started at left guard his sophomore year. Got a start at left tackle in junior year. Versatile lineman that can play multiple spots. Wide build with a strong lower body. Dominant in the run game. Knocks people off the ball. Can mirror linemen. Able to get to the second level, but not always the smoothest in space. Plays with an attitude. Sustains blocks extremely well. Difficult to get away from once he is locked on. The motor plays well versus power. Has to stay inside. Would not want to play him at tackle ever, but he's physical. And that's what it is. They want to take you physically.
Mm-hmm. That's their whole method. They want to run the football. They want to be physical at the point of attack.
And now they got solid backups. But now my one objective in this draft is to stop this slide of who I think is the best corner in the draft, and Will Johnson. And what you're going to get with Will Johnson, some Pro Bowl team is going to get a kid with a chip on his shoulder. And there is good news for the Dallas Cowboys fans, though. It's a deep wide receiver and running back draft, and those things just falling, baby.
Falling fast, too.
Those things just falling.
It's literally just the outlet. So this is
Wayne, I'm going to show you something. You know I'm working for you. This is his reaction to pick. Fair use. Fair
Tyler
use.
Booker, offensive lineman from Alabama, is the official pick out of the Crimson Tide.
Hold on. I am excited about the pick.
Hey, it might be a great player, but we just laughing at him.
Hold on. I am excited about the pick. This guy is a beast. He is a beast. And I look at him and Tyler Smith, guard on guard with Zach Martin leaving. This is one of them picks. I mean, wow. He is a beast. He is a beast. I just wanted to see that on my side of the ball. That's it. But this guy's a beast. I'm not mad at the pick. I get it. Look, that's the type of excitement I had when I was a Cowboy. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, oh God. This is the type of excitement I had. Like, anybody.
Pick is in, and the Dallas Cowboys are selecting.
Your mic muted.
I was laughing because your boy loves it. I wasn't laughing at Micah Parsons. I was laughing at Vach. Vach is like, he's a dude.
Vach is probably going crazy.
Oh, he is. He's going, and so you got Vach going crazy, and you got Foots the King saying it's the worst pick the Cowboys could have ever made. So, but Schottenheimer said that this is who he wanted. He was
The
standing
Bengals pick is in, Dwayne. Interesting pick here. Pardon me for cutting you off, bro.
I don't want to put a name on anybody. Believe me, I don't want to put a name on anybody. But you got to be careful with this kid. From a standpoint, you don't want him to become a Burfict. He's had some questionable things that he's done on the football field to his opponent.
It's tailor-made for why they would pick him, though. It's weird. I know it's a whole different regime, different coaches, but Dwayne, one thing that we will say about this draft, right, and about any draft, we know the Cowboys are going to go after linemen. We know the Cowboys and this team, the Bengals, will go after some interesting character guys. I know a lot of people like to give Howie credit. Howie is great with free agency. I will never say that the Eagles is a great drafting team. The Eagles are great when it comes to free agency and being able to trade down and make moves. But as far as drafting, that hasn't been Howie's strength. John Schneider's strength is drafting. I love the way John Schneider drafts. I'm a big John Schneider fan. What happened, Wayne?
Man, if I could have a 72-year-old woman, it would be Lynn Whitfield. I'm sorry, I digress.
We didn't get the viral moment when the pick was made, but we might have just got one just now.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna be 51 years old. But if Lynn Whitfield ever got me on the phone and said, "Come over," I'm getting there in record time. Oh my God, she's beautiful, man. She's on X with Busta Rhymes, right? And the caption says, Lynn Whitfield looking good at 72 years old. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I'm gonna say it now, man. I'm gonna say something now, and I know people may disagree with me. There's gonna be a player at the end of the draft who I don't think he's gonna get drafted because of some situation that popped up. There's gonna be a player that at the end of the draft that he's either gonna go to Dallas or Houston. Isaiah Bond, I'm saying it now. He's going to Dallas or Houston.
I would love him in Dallas.
He's going to Dallas or Houston. I'm telling y'all, Isaiah Bond will be wearing a Cowboy or a Houston jersey.
I would love him in Dallas. He would be a steal. All right, so we're up to 18. Did I have Stewart in my top 50? I think I left
the Bengals have drafted Shamar Stewart, you guys.
I think I left him off because, no, I had him 25. 25.
So what did our brother Foots the King say?
He's talking about how Booker is not athletic, that he gets stuck in mud. Man, you're not looking for him to be athletic. You're looking for him to be a guard that mauls people.
And them pin and pulls, he'll be athletic enough.
He goes, this isn't a knock on Tyler Booker. I hope he helps the team. My issue is you drafted a guard at 12. You drafted Zach Martin at 16. So in theory, Bookie needs to be ready, day one ready. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I want to be wrong. You're a fool.
He will be day one ready.
He is day one ready.
He is day one. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
And now the next pick is my guy, but not my guy, my team the team that I love to watch him draft. John Schneider's picking now.
I see a receiver going here, but not the receiver most people think. I see Luther Burton going to Seattle.
For those who don't know, they lost DK Metcalf. This is tailor-made for them to get another. They lost DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, so this is tailor-made for them to go out and get another receiver. And it was some rumors that they would be willing to part ways with one of their running backs.
Now remember, folks, remember what Jerry Jones said to a lot of people, okay? Jerry Jones said he has 2 significant trades he's working on, okay? That would be during or after the draft. So don't be surprised if the Cowboys pick up a wide receiver in the draft, man. And depending on what the Denver Broncos do at 20, I think it's going to be Omarion Hampton. Jordan Schultz looks like he's wrong for the first time all night. And I'm glad he's wrong for once, because he said the Seahawks were trading down. He said the Seahawks are trading down, but people say the pick is in. So I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. But if they are trading down, do they work with – I think there's one person that's a little upset right now. I think Jim Harbaugh may be upset. I think he thought maybe he would be able to get Colston Loveland to the Chargers. Jordan Schultz is wrong, okay? Seattle is a very interesting pick, bro. Do you want me to tell you or you want to wait?
Yes, you can tell us.
Seattle's taking the guard out of North Dakota State.
So that means Seattle was probably in on Booker as well.
They most certainly was in on Booker.
So what do you got? What? Okay. I don't care. We'll see what happens. We'll deal with this if it happens.
Thank you. Thank goodness. Because they almost blew this game.
Dwayne, hold on. Can you hear it?
No.
And I knew that I had a feeling this was
Not good audio, bro.
Yeah, the audio is jacked up. Yeah. Did John Snyder reach on this pick? Is this the first reach of the night, Dwayne?
He was flying up draft boards.
Was he in Dwayne's top 50?
No. He was flying up draft boards. There was hard rumors that the Cowboys was going to take him at 12. There were big rumors that the Cowboys were going to take him at 12. I like Booker more than I like him. It's amazing to me that no other wide receiver has been taken.
Yeah, for all the Matthew Golden talk. You know, this is the thing about the draft season. It's called lying season. Everybody's trying to throw smoke screens out there.
But this is good for the Cowboys, man. That running backs and wide receivers are falling down. Now, Jordan Schultz was wrong for the first time tonight. We're gonna see what, but this draft has hit a snail's pace, and the Shedeur Sanders to Steelers watch is on.
You could basically shoe in Shedeur Sanders, right? Tampa Bay, and then
I think Denver's taking Hampton.
Yeah.
I think that's where the second running back comes, or Denver may surprise you.
Get Matthew Golden
and take a Golden. Raheem Morris. Oh no, I'm sorry. I made my first mistake of the night. Todd Bowles. Don't be surprised if Todd Bowles is the one to stop the drop of Will Johnson.
According to Jordan Schultz, a ton of activity at the bottom of this draft with teams looking to trade down. A couple of QB league teams are making calls. Interesting. Appreciate you guys in the chat that may watch our program, and whoever decides to tune us in. You know, we do what we do because we love conversating about football.
Intrigue at the end of this round is with the capital that they have. Do the Browns come back in the bottom of this first round to get a quarterback?
I would hold pat if I was the Browns. You're going to be picking in the first 5 picks on day 2.
Come on. I'm sorry, folks, if you keep hearing all that pinging. I got 3 older sisters. Two of them, my sister Cheryl and my sister Charlene, are probably the biggest New York Knicks fans I know. And they're pinging me because they all almost had heart attacks. But the Knicks held on for a 118-116 victory tonight.
And everybody's bugging one thing about the Knicks. And we will be talking about basketball and baseball eventually on the channel. Hold fast with that, folks. But one thing everybody's been talking about is why is the Knicks struggling with a 6-seed team? You have to understand that basketball, like most sports, it's about matchups.
Mhm.
This team is tall, big, and a matchup nightmare for the Knicks. So as usual, you need Jalen Brunson, and I don't even know how many points Jalen Brunson scored, but he has to carry them.
Ooh! I love the pick. I love the pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Absolutely love the pick. Absolutely love the pick. Home run pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Home run pick. Who I think is the most solid wide receiver in the draft, Emeka Ibuka of Ohio State. So, can you see that?
Yeah,
Can you see that? You see what I'm doing?
yeah.
I may not have been wrong about Matthew Golden, huh?
Speed doesn't mean anything if you don't play like speed.
Just saying.
This is a great pick. When you look at Emeka Ibuka, guys might have seen my face. I was a little disappointed because I think this kid is awesome. I think this kid is the perfect number 2 receiver. They're going to be losing Mike Evans soon, and I think Chris Godwin is still down there. This is a very good pick for Baker Mayfield.
Emeka Ibuka was 21 on my top 50. So I'm not doing bad, folks. Put me up there with some of the other ones, man. I think I'm nailing a little bit of this top 50. The only one that's been drafted so far that wasn't in my top 50 is the cat from North Dakota State. I'm a big fan of Ibuka. Big fan. Still a Michigan Knight tonight, though. Ohio State.
So talk to me, Dwayne. Have you? We're gonna do some small talk. Have you eaten any wings yet? Have you eaten any of your wing flings?
I ate the wings before. I ate the wings before the draft so that I wouldn't be smacking. So I'm good. I had me an energy drink that I probably shouldn't have drank because those ain't always that great. And it's been almost a perfect night. Right now I'm very upset that Will Johnson is still on the board. I think Hampton comes off the board very shortly. I think Hampton is a Sean Payton running back. So I think the second running back comes off the board right now with Amarion Hampton. And if he doesn't come off here, he'll come off at 22 with the Chargers. But here's what I'm going to tell you, folks. You ready, Quentin, for it?
Yes, sir.
If you look at me, I want everybody looking at me if you're watching. If you let Will Campbell get to Jesse Minter and Jim Harbaugh.
You mean Will Johnson?
Will Johnson, sorry. Get to Jesse Minter and Jim Harbaugh, who he won the national championship with. Good luck with that, NFL. Or how about this? Will Johnson and Patrick Surtain II.
As per Jordan Schultz, the Giants are trying to get back into round one.
Yeah, if they are and they draft Jackson Dart, thank goodness. I would love that. I'm surprised Sean Payton is taking this long. The only reason I think Sean Payton may be taking this long is somebody may be on the phone with him for a trade.
You think Sean's trying to make a move, Dwayne?
I thought Omarion Hampton to them was a slam dunk, but we're 2 minutes on the clock. So I got to think maybe they're trying to make a trade. Maybe somebody wants to come up and get Golden. I thought this was one of the most can't miss spots. I will say this, man. If Shedeur Sanders don't go at 21, he will not go in the first round. And I think Cleveland will be the team to pick him in the second.
I'm intrigued so far about what's going on. And usually when we do our draft show, we always say at the end of the first round, well, we got a lot of good players available for the second round. And it is not more truer than what we're going to be heading into going into tomorrow, because it's been a lot of interesting surprises. I mean, the kid from North Dakota.
I think I'm surprised by this.
Sean may be trading his pick, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this. I thought they would run up Omarion Hampton's card. I'm surprised. All right, the pick's in. I'm surprised it took him this long. I still want to say I believe it's Omarion Hampton. If it's Matthew Golden, Courtney Sutton is a viable trade partner. Now, Schultz and Ari have not jumped this pick. So it seems like Sean is keeping it close to the vest. Wow. This is good news for the Dallas Cowboys. Running backs are coming down this board. They went with the corner out of Texas.
Jahdae Brown.
So they're gonna put Barron on the other side of Satan the second.
The interesting thing is that the other corner actually had a really good year last year as well. But I know why Sean is doing it, because it's better to have three than just two. You got firepower in that division. Very interesting pick by Sean. Very interesting. You would have thought that Sean would have went with offense, but he clearly decided to go with Barron.
It's good news for the Cowboys, because you'll have people like Travion Henderson, Judkin, Campbell, Sampson. They're all dropping. But so is Matthew Golden. So is Luther Burton.
Very, very interesting pick. Very interesting.
I'm very interested by that pick. Where did I have that young man? I had him as a 33, but I did star him as one to watch. So your boy ain't doing too bad, man. Who was at 19 again? Abuka. I had him too. Walter Nolan is one that I had. Stewart is one that I had. When you're looking at the top of my list, you still got Will Johnson, Nick Skirton, Luther Burton III, Michael Starks is still out there, Benjamin Morrison, Ursi, the linebacker from Minnesota, Revel from ECU, Shador, Josh Simmons still out there, Wyatt Mullum still out there, Amos is still out there, Pierce Jr. out there, Hampton is out there, Princely is still out there, Jihad Campbell out there, Derek Harmon is still out there.
Still some really good players. Really, really good players.
Selfishly, I'm hoping at 22 the Chargers take Will Johnson. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Jesse Minter and Jim Harbaugh go back and get the Michigan boy. That's what I hope. I am shocked that the Denver Broncos didn't go offense.
Me too. But when you think about it, definitely with running back, Dwayne, because they got Sutton, they got the other receiver, they got the quarterback. They got a really good roster, but I think that they could have definitely got an upgrade with a running back here. But the running back is so deep that they probably gonna go running back in the second round. Very intrigued with this draft. Like you said earlier, this draft is about one thing: depth to your talent.
So it's a deep wide receiver and running back class, and we're at pick
21,
and you had Hunter, Ibuka, who the other wide receiver? T-Mac. So you had Hunter, T-Mac, and Ibuka, right? There's been no other wide receiver.
Yeah, that's it. You still got Matthew Golden, the two kids from Iowa State.
And Genty. Does the Steelers draft Omarion Hampton?
No.
From North Carolina.
The Steelers got to get Shador Sanders. But, Dwayne, the interesting thing about that is that now, why wouldn't you go out and get Hampton? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the quagmire that they're in.
It's not Sanders. It's not Hampton. It's a player that I love, and it's a Pittsburgh Steelers player that I love. Derek Harmon from Oregon, the defensive tackle. He is in my top 50.
They've drafted Cam Hayward's replacement. They've drafted Hayward's replacement.
We get bored too easily. We need to block.
Wow. Where does Shador go? It got to be somebody trading up into the first round, because if you look at these teams, nobody needs a quarterback that's left. Nobody.
And Shador and Dion is hanging out with Gilly.
Unless Sean McVay just say there's not a lot of years left for Stafford.
That'll be interesting.
Because right now, man, does Green Bay need a running back? Nope. Green Bay don't need a running back. Minnesota needs a running back. Houston don't. The Rams may take Hampton if he falls to them. Or Detroit. But that's good news, because those other running backs fall into the second round, and we'll get us a good running back at 44. Shador's not going in the first round, bro. Unless a team trades up to get him.
DT to the Raiders. Really good player.
Here's the thing that's kind of making me upset with Cowboys Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. They act like there's not still time in this draft to get a wide receiver or a running back. If you come out of this draft with the top 3 picks, as me and you have been saying from day one, you got to get a wide receiver and a running back next. You have to, because you don't have a 4th rounder. And I just don't think Williams and Sanders is enough. I need to hear my man Will Johnson's name, yo. This is getting ridiculous now. New Dallas Cowboys offensive guard Tyler Booker was asked about those who might question Dallas drafting him at 12. I would say turn on the tape, because 3 years at Alabama, I straight up dominated. I was a dude at Alabama. Man, I like the confidence. This draft started fast, man, but now it's at a snail's pace. I just don't see a way for Shador unless there's a trade. And what'll happen in that case is you're going to hear a lot from Prime tonight.
The Steelers should and would take Shador. They must know. They must know that Rodgers is going to play, and you wanted to wait. Maybe Kirk Cousins, but no 2nd-round pick. So I thought really.
Ooh, good point by Arlovsky. It's shocking that the Steelers didn't take Shador or Jackson Dart because they don't have a second-round pick.
Wow.
Unless they know they're getting Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Wow. I thought he was a showing for the Steelers, to be honest with you, Dwayne.
What is taking Jimmy so long? This is where he should go get his kid that he recruited. My boy can't make it to day 2, can he?
Will Johnson?
Yeah. That would be heartbreaking for me. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, went up and got a Michigan man. You know, he from Michigan. There you go, showing my boy Will. He look clean in his suit. I hate that he's still back there, man. He pissed too. You could tell he's pissed. Oh, Jimmy taking the whole time, man. I got a feeling if Jim Harbaugh doesn't take him, he will not go in the first round. Unless Green Bay takes him. Damn, the clock about to run out on them. Clock did run out. Like, what's going on? Harbaugh?
Did Jimmy let the clock run out on purpose, Dwayne?
They say the pick is in. I don't know. No one jumped it. Ari or Schultz jumped it. Ooh, Michael Starks is still out there. And Mike Green. I really hope it's well, man.
Let me go use this bathroom. I'll be right back.
Pick is still pending. Said it's in. Clock ran out a while ago. Not sure what's going on, unless it was a late trade or something. It's weird that the clock would have run out and they still haven't made the pick. It's taking a long time, folks. All right, he's finally coming out. Oh, wow. Wow. It's a really good pick. This is a Jim Harbaugh type player. Will Johnson continues to slide, which is going to be a good thing for him because he's going to go to a Pro Bowl type team. Good pick. It's a really good pick for Jim Harbaugh. He fits. He's the type of player that Jim Harbaugh loves. He's going to run downhill. Jim Harbaugh wants to control the clock. It's going to be good play action for Justin Herbert with Omarion Hampton in that backfield. And Will Johnson.
Great pick.
Well, the interesting thing about it and why people may question it is because they did get Najee Harris in free agency. Apparently, the Rams was trying to trade up and get in this spot to take Hampton.
Great pick, in my opinion. I really like this pick.
I mean, it's a good pick. It's interesting though because you did bring Najee over in free agency. Just could have been that Harbaugh was staying true to his board, you know. Yeah.
You're the remaining. Okay.
Green Bay is going crazy right now. Their pick is finally coming up.
Yeah. Maybe they're the ones that go Matthew Golden. I think
Or,
if not,
or possibly Will Johnson, Dwayne, because Jar Alexander is on the trade block.
he is. I'm hanging in there, folks, but this thing has hit a snail's pace.
Green Bay looks beautiful.
think Matthew Golden to either Houston or the Rams. At 44 with Dallas, man, and not having a fourth round pick. I would like to see Dallas go wide receiver, running back the next two, unless they are able to pull off a trade. Wide receivers. Okay.
His leadership skill.
Can you hear this? This is one of my favorite players a couple of years ago in the draft, Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama, speaking about his former teammate. Hopefully you can hear the audio.
Tyler Booker, man, I speak very highly of him, man. Great character guy, but I think he has all the attributes you need to play the offensive line position. He's a mauler. He loves to finish blocks. His leadership skills, his mentality. He wants to be the best, and he's really hard on himself. And, you know, I'm kind of the same way. And that's what builds you up. That's what makes you know who you are. And he has all those things, man. And I can't say enough good things about him, man. And wherever he end up, he's going to change that team, change that program, and change the offensive line for sure.
I never thought that I would see a day where I.
That's interesting. So people in the know, not these YouTubers, but people in the know is I just see stuff, and it's amazing how the Eagles won a championship. And I got a friend that's an Eagle fan, and he goes, so glad I can buy an Omarion Hampton jersey as a North Carolina fan now that he's in the NFL. No chance I was buying one if he was a Dallas Cowboy, though. I love holding space in people's head, man. I love it. So they're saying that there's concerns with a knee for Will Johnson. Not the turf toe, but a knee. It's also talks that the Eagles are now working very hard to trade up with the Packers. It would be interesting to see what that's for.
Packers pick is in.
All right, he said no trade. Packers are picking.
Who do the Packers go to here, Dwayne?
I don't know. At this point in the draft, who knows, man?
Let me look at your big board. Do they go with Simmons?
They could. He's there. I'm a big Nick Scruggs. I can't believe Malik Starks is still out there.
We go with Benjamin Morrison?
Benjamin Morrison's still out there. He's someone I really like. They asked Tyler Booker who his favorite Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman was, and without hesitation, he said Larry Allen. It's off to a good start. He's off to a good start. They may go Matthew Golden. Who is Ted Thompson? Nobody want to see him. I would think they're going to go Matthew Golden. If I had to venture a guess, because they're up and down at wide receiver, I think they go Golden.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mark Murphy. I said Ted Thompson. I think Ted Thompson has left us.
It's Golden, Dwayne.
What happened?
It's Golden.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Now, Mill, you said throwing the damn towel. Yeah, now Mel, this is what we do on draft day, man. We had these long shows, but for the first and second and third round. Next tomorrow we start at 7. We're gonna be rocking both rounds. So we ain't throwing in the towel yet, man. We got about 9 more picks left. Uh, so it's good. It could get interesting. And we know a bunch of teams is trying to trade up. Now, Mel, what you think about Shador? I'm surprised that Shador didn't get picked yet, Dwayne.
I'm not. I'm not.
You think this is all Dion?
I think it's a big part of it. And I think with Cleveland being with 2 top picks in that second round, I think Cleveland could be the spot that drafts him.
Are you talking about the Cowboys, not Mel? You don't think the Cowboys pick was good? Cowboys pick was excellent. Given who they could have picked up, who did you want them to pick up?
Now, I will disagree with a quote that Jerry Jones said. He said, "We've had some success loading it up with top picks in the offensive line. I don't think running back was as significant of an issue last year. I think it was our offensive line that was the bigger impact on the running back situation."
Interesting. And Najee Harris is trending. And the the Vikings only got 4 picks. So Jordan Schultz said, they would be an opportunity to try to trade down. Oh. 9 picks left, you guys. 8 picks for this round.
No, it's 9 picks left.
Very, very fast first round.
It's definitely 9 picks left. Because you got to count 24th pick. So you got 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 9 picks left. And the only thing I'll say about my boy Will Johnson, man, is he could go in the first round.
Of course, Damil. Of course. I think that people think that Shador is a show. That, and Dwayne has always said to me about, one of the fears could possibly be that Shador has always been coached by Dion. And I do think that he may have probably didn't interview well, but still, I still thought that wouldn't hurt him as much as it hurt him. I thought the Steelers would probably pick him because I thought Sanders would have been perfect for the Steelers. Oh, you like that pick for Dallas? Yeah, they got to fortify that line. And when you look at the Eagles and Washington and the Giants, they're strong up the middle. So the Cowboys got to protect that middle of that line. They'll have 2, like, to be perfectly honest with you, retarded strength guards. Tyler Smith already looked like Baby Huey. And you put this kid on the other side of the guard with BB in the middle. BB is a big center because he used to play guard in college. So they'll be good in the middle of their line, really good.
we have the man who coached the Dallas Cowboys literally last year in the previous. Roger Goodell just announced the Dallas Cowboys pick. It was
Tyler Booker from Bama. Yeah, the guard.
Booker from Bama, guard. Okay. Shout out to Tyler Booker getting drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. We have the man who coached the Dallas Cowboys literally last year in the previous 5 years, I believe, Coach McCarthy. They go with an offensive lineman here for the Dallas Cowboys and Shawty's new tenure. Why do you think this pick was made?
Yeah,
And what do you think
yeah
about this?
Tyler Smith is baby Huey.
Pick, Mel. Love the pick. I'm telling you. No, seriously. If you would ask me who would be picking, this is the way I think it go. I think, once again, a lot of conversations. It's an offensive line that is better today than it was, at the point last year, because they had 5 young offensive linemen playing a ton of football next year. Now you're adding Tyler. So I think you're getting back to hopefully the good old days in Dallas with an excellent offense.
What are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys? You've told us over the last 24 hours, but obviously we haven't talked about it. When they're now up on the draft board, it's time to bring it up. It feels like you enjoyed your time in Dallas and you have no ill will at all, it feels like.
Not at all. I mean,
Fair use.
Fair use. I'm actually, for the first time, I'm getting to enjoy the city some of the last couple of months. So, great city, phenomenal organization. Cannot say enough about Jerry and Gene and the Jones family. Super, super cool. Just the way you talk about a family organization. You talk about a close family. You guys are asking me, hey, what's Jerry like?
Wow. I did not
Not
have.
trade.
Huh?
Giants coming up.
They're probably coming up for Jackson Dart.
Did they trade with the Vikings or the Vikings pick is in?
Vikings pick. They took a guard. The Texans moved out of 25 for the Giants. It would be the biggest slap in the face if they don't take Shador and they take Jackson Dart. I'm shocked that 3 guards went. Bless you. 3 guards went in the first round.
Me too. I guess your twin didn't know what he was talking about with Simmons, huh?
Well, listen, man.
He's got a bad patella. Come on, you can't. When you got these medical stuff, certain medical injuries, you can't just assume that these guys are going to get picked. That medical stuff, man, you get teams that fail these guys in the physical, they don't want to do it.
Please, Giants, please take Jackson Dart. Please, I'm begging you.
So we'll let you guys know exactly what the trade was for once it's announced.
I don't see the Giants taking Shador. They may.
The Texans trade the 25th to the Giants in exchange for 34 and 99 in the third round in 2026.
So I don't think the Giants have a second rounder now.
They gave the second round pick, the third round pick.
Pick is in. If I had to guess, it's Jackson Dart.
They gave up the second, fourth, and the third next year.
If I had to guess, it's Dart. I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger on Shador. And remember, for what it's worth.
Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Remember, for what it's worth, his son posted welcoming Jackson Dart. I'm very glad they did this. I don't believe in Jackson Dart. I don't.
Wow.
I think the New York Giants just drafted Will Levis 2.0.
Wow. 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 This is draft coverage.
I'm not surprised by it.
But as a fan, I am happy as hell. I thought they would get Shador, possibly, but this is amazing that the GM's son tweeted this earlier, and literally, and I'm gonna say it. This goes to the dysfunction of the New York Giants. They are a very dysfunctional franchise right now.
Who's a dysfunctional franchise?
The New York Giants.
No, I won't say that. They knew they had to get a quarterback. They knew they had to get a developmental type quarterback. That's why they got Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart's not going to play next year. They're going to give him a year to sit behind Russell Wilson. Some talent evaluators love him. I'm not a fan of his, you know. I wasn't a fan of his at USC. I wasn't a fan of his at Ole Miss. I think he's Will Levis, but I'm not going to call the Giants out. To me, they're still one of the best franchises in this NFL.
Based on what? Not recent years.
Well, I mean, recent years, I could say that the Dallas Cowboys is a terrible franchise. If we're basing it on that. I'm just saying there are certain organizations that made this NFL when you're talking about the Packers, you're talking about the Bears, you're talking about the Giants, you know. Their organization that still means something. They got 4 Super Bowl trophies. They have lineage with very good coaches. Hasn't gone right for them since the 2007 and then 2011 run. They didn't get the quarterback situation right with Daniel Jones. They moved on from him. They botched the Saquon. And they believe in Jackson Dart. Like, they believe in him more than I believe in him. But that's it. But you'll have same people saying that the Cowboys botched this draft by taking Tyler Booker. This is not going to be a universal thing where people are going to say the Cowboys did good. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of C's, D's, and F grades. I'm sure you're going to turn on the facility and you're going to turn on Get Up and you're going to turn on First Take, and they're all going to rue the fact that the Cowboys didn't get a running back or a wide receiver.
The Falcons is trading back in the round 1, according to Jordan Schultz.
Maybe the Falcons going to take Shador and put him with Michael Penix. The Rams traded out of there because the player they wanted was Omarion Hampton, and he wasn't there. Atlanta could be where Will Johnson falls, with Raheem Morris. I said Raheem Morris earlier by mistake with Tampa Bay. This could be where Will Johnson falls. I do not want to see Will Johnson in a Washington Commanders uniform. That would be a very terrible situation and scenario for me. And Ralph Vacchiano, we give credit where credit is due. And this was him. What an absolute home run of a draft for Giants GM Joe Shane. A franchise defender in Abdul Carter at 3, and a potential franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart at 25. Shane and Dayball have been right about Dart, obviously, but they got everything they could have wanted out of the. Have to be right about Dart, but they got everything they could have wanted out of round one. Again, I'm not a Jackson Dart fan. I think Shedeur Sanders is a better quarterback than Jackson Dart. I think the Louisville quarterback is a better quarterback than Jackson Dart. But now you got Wilson, Dart, and Winston, and Tommy DeVito. I wouldn't be surprised if Jameis Winston is cut before training camp. But they're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. This is not a great day for the Sanders family. When you're looking at it now, right? When you look at the bottom of this draft and you look at the top of the second round, this could be a big, big fall for Shedeur Sanders.
Does Cleveland take a flyer on him?
I mean, they would have to be the
second
next
round.
They would have to be the next team. If they don't do it, I don't know who will. Because if you look at the second round, you look at the rest of this round if nobody trades in. But if you look at the second round, Cleveland, the Texans don't need a quarterback. The Titans don't need a quarterback. Maybe Oakland or Las Vegas, sorry. Maybe the Saints. Maybe the Jets at 42. But that's it. It's limited spots for him to go. It's limited spots for him to go.
So going into day 2, it'll be the intrigue will be on Shedeur. If one of these teams don't surprise us and grab him.
The Rams, man, they didn't get a lot. They got a first round pick next year, but they got the second. Wow, okay. And they're taking an edge rusher from Tennessee, James Pierce Jr.,
who allegedly has a lot of red flags, but the talent is there.
Wow. The Baltimore Ravens is one of the smartest organizations in football, and hopefully maybe they can get my boy. I don't know, man. I'm looking for a landing spot for my boy right now, Will Johnson. Maybe that knee is a big issue. I think somebody's going to get the steal of the draft. But I'm going to circle back to the Dallas Cowboys for a minute as we're getting to the end of this first round. I think Baltimore may take Travion Henderson, though. I hope Washington doesn't take him. Philly, man, please, Philly, don't take Will Johnson. And they could, because they don't have Slay anymore. And they could go Mitchell, DeJean, and Will Johnson. I'm ready for this. I got to be honest, folks. I'm ready for this draft to be over for the night. As fast as it was going early, I thought we would have a short night, and it may be over before midnight, but that's not the case. You still got 6 picks. And right now, I can't bring it up. Can you do me a favor? Because I can't bring it up on my thing. Can you go to NFL.com and bring up the running backs and wide receivers that are still available? Let me see if I can bring it up on my phone. So I couldn't bring it up on my tablet. Yeah, it's still not. I think everybody may be going on that site. So the likelihood of Shador Sanders going in the first round is slim, unless somebody comes up to get him. From a Cowboys perspective, when you think about running backs that are still available late, you still got Henderson, Quinshon Junkins, Caleb Johnson, Scatterbo, Dylan Sampson, Devin Neal, Giddings, Jordan James, Harvey, Martinez, Tootin. So there's some really good running backs still there. As far as receivers, you still have Higgins, Harris, Burton III. You have Nolan, you have Beck, you have Royals, you have Kyle Williams, you got Jalen Lang.
Same thing, Dwayne, with the NFL thing. It's crashing. It's basically crashing.
Too many people trying to get on it. So I went to ESPN. So there's going to be stuff available there. I would like a running back at 44 because I think the Cowboys are going to be the team to take a chance on Isaiah Bond. I think they just might be the team. Take a chance on that young man. The only intrigue left for me in this draft is Will Johnson and Shador Sanders. I wish Will Johnson's people would not have had him at that draft. I feel sorry for him that he's still sitting in there in that green room. I'll tell you also, man, there's some really good edge rushers still left. The medical on Will Johnson must be really, really bad. And the reason I say that is his college coach didn't even draft him.
It's gonna be interesting what the Falcons, I guess, having Pierce and Walker coming off the edges is interesting pairing going forward.
Yeah, that's true. They got two edges in this draft. That's a good point by you. Still shocked that I gotta be honest. I'm still shocked that Starks from Georgia is there. If I go back to my top 50, I think I had him in my top 10, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me
So
see.
you had him at 9.
Yeah, he is the best safety in this draft. I'm surprised he has not been tabbed yet, man. He has great pedigree from Georgia. He could cover at safety. He can also come up and smack you, man. So I thought for sure he would be a first rounder. There's still time for that. Looks like the pick is in for Baltimore. They're clapping. That could be a good landing spot for him, being honest. I think Will Johnson could be a good landing spot there. But I'm definitely surprised Starks is still on the board. Nick Scrutton's still on the board. Burton still on the board. Of course, Shador. Trey Amos is still on the board. The corner from Ole Miss. Jahad Campbell's still on the board.
Oof.
Watch Omar Norman Lott as well. He could be somebody that the Ravens are looking for. I think the Ravens go defense. I want it to be Will Campbell. I don't think it will be. But watch Starks. Starks is a name that you could watch right here. He could be in play here for Baltimore. Let's see.
Pairing with Hamilton.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Malachi Starks. It's a smart pick, man. He been in that green room a long time, man.
Very good pick to pair with
Very good
Hamilton.
player, man. Very good player, man.
Him and Hamilton together could be a problem at safeties, man.
Very good player.
Woo, 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 woo. They definitely already got on paper. They got two safeties that are a problem. Hamilton, it would allow Hamilton to basically shadow that slot receiver, tight end, or they are going to be interchangeable. Really, really good pick for them. And as you said, Dwayne, when they got on the clock, Baltimore just does it right every time.
Put him in the slot coverage on NFL Network. That's what I mean. He's a safety, but he could cover the slot, and he will come up and he will smack you. He will come up and he can come off the edge, blitzing. His speed, his pursuit at safety is amazing. And you look at this piece of the puzzle, man, you got Nate Wiggins, Humphreys. Now you got Starks and Kyle Hamilton. The Ravens just know how to draft, man.
Him and Kyle Hamilton together is just crazy.
It's ridiculous. Him and Kyle Hamilton together is really, really ridiculous. There's no other word I could use for it, man. Oh, jeez. So you still got Mike Green out there, which is interesting for me. I'm hoping he don't go to Philly, to be honest.
Like Dwayne said, according to ESPN, the best players available from here on out: Will Johnson, Maxwell Harrison, Jahad Campbell, Mike Green, Josh Simmons, Nick Amanawari, Donovan Aziruaku,
Edge from Boston College,
Darius Alexander, Trayvon Henderson, Cheval Revel, Josh Connerly, Shador Sanders, Elijah Arroyo, Trey Amos, Jaden Higgins, Mason Taylor, Gerard Wilson, Shamar Turner, Trey Harris, Luther Burton III, Arante Ursaray, TJ Sanders, Jalen Noel, Jordan Birch, Quinston Junkins. Those are the top 25 players that's still available according to ESPN. This Malachi Starks pick was great for them, Even Jordan Schultz said Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks is a fantastic safety duo. Their whole defense just got better with this pick.
Robert Griffin III, Mikel Starks, and then he put in bold capitals, plays like a Raven. It's a perfect fit. It really is. Really is. He really is a perfect fit. Y'all excuse me, man. I'm hitting I hit the
You
wall.
hit the wall? You hit it? You hit it?
Definitely hit the wall.
It's perfectly fine, brother. When I got up and went to the bathroom, I purposely went downstairs to the bathroom to wake back up a little bit. If I'd have went to the bathroom up here, I wouldn't have. The juices wouldn't have flown. I'm good now. What's crazy is it's almost over for the round. I'm good.
Still 5 more picks to go. Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, Kansas City, Philadelphia. And there's really some still good. I'm sorry, folks. I just need to. My back is hurting. I just need to lay back for a second. Still some really good picks out there. Some really good people that you could pick up. Right now, when you think about the first round, people that are getting a lot of heat are the Dallas Cowboys in Atlanta. A lot of people are saying Atlanta got fleeced. Please go to Detroit, Will Johnson. I'm tired. So they're taking a player that I like. They're taking a player that I had in my top 25. He's a really good, a top 50. I'm sorry. He's a real good defensive tackle. I like him. Tyleik Williams, he plays hard, 334 pounds. Where did I have him? I had him rated 34 in my top 50.
That's an interesting pick they just made because they just paid the one defensive tackle all the money. They're going to have to re-sign Hutchinson soon. It's an interesting pick.
Well, Hutchinson is more of an edge, so I don't think this affects him at all.
What's the other tackle? They just had him. They just got him. He's pretty good. I can't remember he's trying to learn everybody's roster and did with all the changes. I know they had the tackle they just paid all the money to.
But Williams is a very decent player. On this thing said can't be low battery. I had this battery charged all day.
Oh, it was Alim McNeil.
That doesn't make any sense. Battery can't be going low. It's been charged all day, so
take the charge out.
I did. I'm all right. 4 picks to go. You could potentially see Josh Simmons to the Chiefs. The Commanders may take a wide receiver, maybe a Luther Burton, or a guy that I identified in my 3 players to watch. Watch Benjamin Morrison here for the Commanders.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that would be a very, very good pick.
Also,
Siobhan Ravel?
No. Watch. They lost Dexter Fowler. Remember that. So watch an edge. Could be my big boy from Ole Miss, Princely. Quinn is the one that would take a flyer on Will Johnson as well. He did draft Mikey Sanderstrill. Giving credit where credit is due once again. As we've already said, Baltimore does this thing different. Emmanuel Acho of FS1 says Malik Starks and Kyle Hamilton, the Ravens aren't playing fair. There's no player whose playing style fits a team better than Makai to the Ravens. It's true.
until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, I start to see that love leave their eyes. Like that's what makes me get the game. Like I'm like,
What, Dwayne?
Can I play you some audio?
Yeah.
Give credit.
Fair use.
It's Bleacher Report. Okay.
Fair use.
Tyler Booker is asked a question. When he explains himself, Micah Parsons goes absolutely ape crazy. I won't say the S word. You ready?
Fair use.
You had one of my favorite quotes of the entire draft process. You said, quote, "I make guys not love football anymore." What does it feel like to see the love of football leave someone's eyes?
It feels great, you know, like football is a child's game. So like people wake up, be like, man, I can't wait to play this football game today. They listen to their hype music, they take all the pre-workout, they get so excited to play football until they come across Tyler Booker. And then when I'm going after you, quarter after quarter, play after play, series after series, and I start to see that love leave their eyes, like that's what makes me love the game. Like I just really love. I like that. You just got me hurt. We got me ready to go. He got me ready to go. I said, okay, play right now. Let's go. He got me hyped. I ain't gonna lie. Play after play, quarter after quarter.
Yo, Slay said, yo, I ain't gonna lie, this young man got me ready to play. Micah lost it, yo. They don't look as happy as I think they would want to look right now. Ooh. What is Twin going to say now? What is Voch Lombardi going to say now? Because another tackle has come off the board, and it ain't their boy.
Who they get?
They got Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon. Come on, man. Simmons don't got a clean medical.
Yep. Let me tell you something, Dwayne. What's scary is, I wouldn't do it. Dwayne. I wouldn't do what I'm about to say. But if Simmons was there at 44, woo.
Nah,
I wouldn't do it.
You gotta get skilled.
I wouldn't do it because I'm not going to change on what we decided that we wanted. Two skill positions in the first two skill positions in the first 3 rounds. Got a mauler up there.
Listen, me and Quentin played audio from Todd McShay earlier today. And you go ahead and tell her what he said about Tyler Booker.
He said, you're not going to like the pick. You're not going to be happy about the pick. People are going to be mad, but you're going to go to sleep with a smile on your face at night and be happy for 12 years. And I'll say this, and I go out on a limb, and me and Dwayne, we always talk about this, and we're big critics of our team. We assess our team the right way. Regardless of what people think about us, we love our team, but we're big critics of our team. And what I mean by this, and the point I want to make is, we will always say, as long as 4 is healthy, you could pencil them in for 11 or 12 wins, and then the responsibility is on the players once they get to the playoffs. This pick is about controlling that front line, getting 4 back to play action. Play action. They have to run the football. The threat of running the football didn't come last year until 4 was hurt, which is crazy when you think about it, because all the players, everybody else was healthy. Even when CD went down, they kept running the ball still, and everybody knew that's the only thing they had was running the ball and a guy that couldn't throw the ball down the field.
I saw something. I heard something earlier today. Again, we like to give credit where it's due. I heard something on WFAN in New York. They said earlier today that Eli Manning, who still lives in New Jersey, Summit, New Jersey to be exact, said he couldn't wait to mentor Jackson Dart if that became a reality. It's just a little tidbit out there. I don't think it means anything. I'm gonna have to switch up because for whatever reason, this tablet is. I mean, this Chromebook is going out. So I'm gonna exit and come right back, folks.
Just give Dwayne a second. He'll be back. Give Dwayne a second. He will be back. Buffalo's pick is in.
Oh, now I'm way up on the camera, folks. Change. Sorry.
Look like you look. It looked like you just woke up.
Y'all seeing this big dome?
It's like it's 7:30 Eastern right now.
Y'all seeing this big dome? Pause.
Dwayne, I'm gonna ask you a question, man. And I know it's still some more picks left. Buffalo's pick is in, right?
Yes.
I want to ask you a question. You know, I always come up with some crazy stuff to ask you. I'm not going to compare players because we know I won't do that. 44, right? Jaden Higgins, Trayvon Henderson. Which one you going to get?
If we get to 44 and both Ohio State running backs are there, I'm taking Trayvon Henderson because he is a dude.
Okay, but not Junkins. What if the receiver, Iowa State, Higgins?
I'm taking Henderson. I'm hoping beyond hope that Henderson comes to us at 44. Looking at the teams that are ahead of us, I think New England would be a spot where I'd be nervous. But if I can get either one of the Ohio State running backs, I'll be very happy.
So you would prioritize a running back at 44 over a receiver?
Unless my boy is there.
Unless it's Burton?
Yeah. You know if Burton's there, I want him. Because he's been my number one wide receiver since day one. I don't know if you could put up my 50. But I believe in my 50, I have Burton as my number one wide receiver.
Yes, number 7.
And I am shocked that my number 6 player is still available. Shocked.
That's who the Eagles will probably go out and get. They need to end.
Oh, my God, yo.
Who did Buffalo get?
I like Maxwell Harrison. And it makes sense for Buffalo, but y'all gonna mess around, man. And y'all
The Eagles are moving up one spot with the Chiefs.
Y'all gonna mess around, and y'all gonna let the Eagles get Will Johnson, man.
Dwayne, I think the Eagles is moving up for either Will Johnson or Simmons. Have Simmons be an understudy under Lane Johnson this 1 year.
Could be. But I don't think the Chiefs would have traded with the Eagles
If they were told they were going to get a lineman?
if they knew they was going to get Simmons, because the Chiefs need a Simmons. I think the Eagles is coming up to get Will Johnson, man. And that is the worst thing that could have happened in my life.
The Eagles is one team that they don't mind taking a flyer on a guy with knee problems, as we know, N'Kobe Dean.
If they take Burton, I will cry.
Oh, Jahad Campbell.
For who? The Eagles?
If that's who they coming to get.
He could. He's a South Jersey dude. They only gave up 164 to go up one spot. Could be Jahad. Could be Jahad. Could be Nick. Oh, nope. I know who the Eagles is getting. Guaranteed. Mike Green for Marshall. The edge. Because Huff gave them nothing. Didn't have anything from Riddick.
Graham retired. And Graham retired.
I believe it's probably Mike Green.
A lot of good players still left in this draft, man.
So, if we look at the running backs, man, those two Ohio State running backs are still there. And I wouldn't mind the Cowboys trading up in the second round to secure that running back.
As long as it ain't Scudderbo.
I do not want Scatterbo. I'm just going to be honest. I think you looking at the two Ohio States, I think you're looking at Sampson. I think you're looking at Harvey. And I think Giddens from Kansas State is a real option. But I'll tell you, man, there's some wide receivers that are still out there, man. I love Higgins. You know I love Higgins. And I love Trey Harris. I think Kyle Williams is good. I love the wide receiver from Stanford. But I really want the Cowboys to take a running back at 44. Q, who's the wide receiver I've been talking about, Q, all year?
Luther Burton.
Other than him?
Higgins?
Nah, never mind. You failing me.
Savion?
Isaiah Bond.
Oh, we get Dwayne. That's going to be my early prediction. He's not going to get drafted, and he's going to sign with Dallas or Houston. It's coming. That situation and scared teams off. The Eagles picked immediately.
Yeah, I think it might be Mike Green. I'm praying it's not Luther Burton. It's Jahad Campbell, the South Jersey boy. It's a nice pick for them. It's a real nice pick for them. Jahad Campbell. Q, can you bring up my 50? I believe I had him in the top 20, didn't I? No. I know I had him on my 50, though.
You had him at 32.
I had him at 32. He got picked at what?
31.
Okay. Q, I didn't do too bad, man.
By the 32nd team, though. They traded up to get him.
Look at Tyleek Williams. We go back to the bottom of start at 32 and see who I missed on.
As of right now, just Princely. Isaiah, you did this list before. Isaiah's off this list.
Amos.
Yeah, he didn't get picked yet.
And probably Will Johnson. Burton, Scrub. Okay, so I missed on a few. But I got a lot in there, man.
Oh yeah, you did. And Nick scoring.
I did pretty good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man.
Campbell is a Howie.
Campbell,
He's
perfect
a
pick for the
Howie
Eagles.
Roseman. He's a Howie Roseman pick. He's a kid that started his career at Timber Creek High School in Ariel, New Jersey, which is a stone's toss from Philadelphia. He ended his high school career at IMG, and then he went to Alabama. He is a stud. He's a stud. The Eagles do it again, man. Say goodbye to the Kobe Dean, though. You're going to have Braun and Jahad Campbell. This is an A. This is another A pick for Howie. Yeah.
Who traditionally don't draft linebackers well. Even with Braun, when they picked him up from free agency, he got picked up as a special teams guy, and he popped in Vic Fangio's defense.
I would say with one of those first two picks for Cleveland in the second round, I would say Will Johnson's probably going to come off there. I think the Chiefs right now are going to go with Simmons on their offensive line to close out this draft.
I think Shador's in play. Shador's in play for Cleveland, Dwayne. I don't know.
I don't think Cleveland's going to touch him. I think the next possible place for Shador is Vegas. From a Cowboy perspective, there's plenty of good running backs left, man. If I can get one of the Ohio State running backs at 44, that's what I want. I really do. But right now, ESPN's best availables going into day 2 are Will Johnson, Mike Green, Simmons, the safety from South Carolina, the edge from Boston College, Alexander, the defensive tackle from Toledo. Then you have Henderson, Ravel, Sanders, Arroyo, the tight end from UM. You got Amos, Higgins, Mason Taylor. No one took a chance. Wait a second. Didn't Shamar Turner get drafted? No, he didn't.
Shamar Stewart.
Stewart got drafted. So you got Burton. You still got the big lineman from Minnesota. Sanders. Junkins. I think the Cowboys will either have Henderson or Judkins. And I'll be happy with either. And then we'll just take our chance at wide receiver, man. I think in the 5th round, you can get Isaiah Bond. Is anybody going to take a chance on Isaiah Bond?
I don't think so, Dwayne. I don't think so.
We could take a chance on him in the 5th round. Now, people may not love it, but we got to remember the Cowboys did sign Paris Campbell.
And as the part-time owner said, not the part-time owner, the co-owner of the team said, player acquisition is a 24 hours, 365-day deal. And he's subject to doing something. He's subject to making a move.
I think this is Simmons. I think you go get a lineman for Patty Mahomes. So we'll get tomorrow where everybody will say that the Cowboys are crazy. But when you got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and those people,
Deron Payne, Dexter Lawrence.
yeah. How does Detroit do what they do? Is that offensive line, man?
Is it Deron Payne or Deron Payne is the one that's still there, right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, another good draft, man.
Yeah.
We'll wait to see what
It was the first 13 picks was flying.
Yeah.
And then it's like it hit a snail came. Even Jordan Schultz, he probably got an email or something like, "Yo, slow down, buddy." Yep. The Chiefs got Josh Simmons.
Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense. So, there's some names available day two that didn't think would be there, man. Like Mike Green. Surprised Mike Green is there.
So, Dwayne, after this pick is made, before we close out, give me 5. Give me 5 to look forward to. Let's look on your board. Let's look on your board. Let's see who's still on your board. Let's see.
Let's count up how many on the board got drafted. Let's do that first.
Okay.
Hunter, Graham, Carter, Campbell, Genty, Starks, T-Mac, Banks, Walker, Williams, Grant, Ward, Loveland, Ibuka, Simmons, Warren, Stewart, right?
Yeah.
And I can't see the rest of it.
So out of the first 25, 4 of these guys didn't get drafted.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Pierce, Hampton, Nolan, Campbell, Barron, Tyleek Williams, Derek Hampton, Booker. That's it. So not
That's
bad.
good, though.
I'll take
That's good.
If I'm looking at best availables, I think Will Campbell. That medical must be really bad. It'll be interesting to see where Shador goes. And then there's going to be a run on running backs. I think the run on running backs is coming. So I ask you a question. Chicago drafts twice before the Cowboys. Do the Cowboys go up and try to get one of those Browns picks to get their running back?
No. They can't trade up. They can't trade up. Not with this second round pick, because if they get pushed out of getting their guy, I'm like you. If they don't get the two Ohio, if both of those Ohio State guys go, I would go receiver and get my running back in the third round.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I think I'm like you. I think Trayvon Henderson, you pencil him in there. If you get him, then you can get the receiver in the third round.
Yeah, but but the thing that scares me about Henderson is that the Bears have 2 picks, and one of those 2 picks they're taking a running back.
And it's a possibility that the Bears and the Cleveland might get a running back apiece.
Yeah.
Well, pick was just announced. Josh Simmons to the Kansas City Chiefs. Very interesting pick, man. You know, will they keep him on the right side or will they move him to the blind side? We all know one thing about this quarterback is that if you put pressure on him, he's going to be human. So protect him at all costs. Dwayne, great show as usual, man.
Yeah, I'll hit you tomorrow, bro.
We did what we did, man. And it was a very interesting night, and look forward to coming back tomorrow with round 2 and round 3.
Yep. Have a good
Good
night.
night, everyone. Take care.